All right, guys, welcome to episode 185 of Open Your Toys Cast, the podcast dedicated to the four greatest action figure franchises of the 80s and all time. And those are, Jay?
Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that is a new co-host we are welcoming to the show. And not to bury the lead here, but we are live video. It is like we're in the 21st century here. No longer doing that 1990s podcasting. We're all about the 2000s now. Jay, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Oh, let's see. Well, I collect toys. Action figures, video games, you name it. Not much to say. Personal info, but
what's your favorite line to collect?
Oh, it's pretty much anything 80s. I mean, I collect a plethora of stuff. Transformers, G.I. Joe. Never got into He-Man. Got some Star Wars stuff. Got some MASH stuff. You name it, I collect it.
Nice. Are you a big Kenner guy?
Not really. No, I like the newer stuff.
Yeah, not me either. I know. Jason from Dave and Duvall is quite the Kenner guy, you know. But anytime somebody says 80s, I'm like, oh, they collect Kenner, you know.
I have some of them. I have some of the figures, but not really big into Star Wars. But
no.
If it's a toy, I'll pick it up.
All right. Well, Lotus should be posting this on our Facebook page and the group. And so hopefully we'll get some listeners joining us soon. But if not, no big deal. We're going to go ahead and move right ahead here. First up, if you want to kick it with us, sorry, I'm trying out a new thing here. So here on the website that you should be seeing now, if you want to see everything that we're talking about and you're not watching us on YouTube, because you will be able to get to see everything we're talking about, at the top of the page, there's show notes, and you can see links to everything we're talking about if you want to do a deep dive on it. We are joined again by Jay. Jay said he didn't necessarily have any social outlet outside of the group. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook, but I don't YouTube or outside or.
If you want to find me, I'm at facebook.com/openyourtoys. I'm at Slick McFavorite on Instagram and Twitter, and you can email me because I'm old school at slick@openyourtoys.com. Lotus, people want to find you. How's the best way?
They can just head over to YouTube and type in Lotus Stark and watch videos of things that I collect.
Hell yeah. And Rock, what about you, sir?
You can go on the Rock the Farting Dad YouTube channel, or you can go Facebook or the eBay page, Rock DM, which I never plug, but I have a ton of stuff on there. Nice.
If you want to kick it with us, again, the show notes will have this, or the website, which is what we're looking at now. Very soon, YouTube is going to probably become the largest part of our outreach outside of the Facebook group. So we'll be adding an icon right here for Facebook. Or for YouTube, I should say. But you got links to our Facebook group, our Instagram and Twitter, which we don't really do. Vern was really the heart and soul, Vern and Swage, I should say, are the heart and soul of those. So they've kind of fallen by the wayside. But if you want to listen to us, you'll still be able to do that on iTunes, Google Play, RSS. We'll announce all the newest shows on our Facebook page, as well as good old Stitcher Smart Radio. And then you can even see the support the show links, which Amazon kicked us off because I modified this graphic. But we still got eBay. And if you do eBay snipe auctions, I'm sorry, don't get caught up in auction wars. You know, just put in what you want to pay for something, and I suggest using Gixxon. That's the only way I eBay nowadays. So, all right. Now let's take a look at some show notes here. What are we drinking? Mr. Stark, what are you drinking, sir?
LG fridge water and a Bubba keg.
Yeah. Yeah, we wish. Even if we didn't get to see your face, I just want to see your like Bubba keg up there in that video view. Jay, what about you?
Not to steal anybody's thunder, you know, but good old GE fridge water.
Oh shit, we got a rivalry already. I rock a Kenmore myself, but you know.
Whirlpool in the hizzy.
Oh well, at least we're oh well. I guess everybody except for Lotus is American. Wah, wah.
I'm a machine.
Cybertronian.
What about you, Rock, on this fine Easter day? Are you imbibing?
Yeah, I'm drinking my Folgers. Or no, it's like Folgers or Maxwell House in my vintage Gamorrean Guard. Oh, which way does it go? Mug. Nice 20 ounce cup of coffee with 2 sweet and low and half and half.
Oh yeah, we need to get you an iPad stand, brother. I think.
Well, I'm trying to use my crotch, but I don't have a tripod right now, so just like got my legs folded in. I have a music stand in my basement. I should probably use that.
I was going to say, where's Mrs. Mastrangelo if you need a tripod?
She's in the shower right now. She's sick. And she's nervous because her mom has the virus.
Oh no!
So now, she's
awful.
worried. Yeah, but yeah, she's on her way to go get antibiotics. So she's in the shower going to Walgreens.
No. Well, that's too bad to hear. I hope she heals up quick. We had a scare here on our end too that turned out to be negative. So
thank God.
Wishing everybody health and happiness out there. That's for fucking sure. Me this week, I am drinking I'm like Rock. I am drinking Tecate Michelada, a refreshing and authentic blend of Tecate beer with natural flavors, tomato, lime, and spice. No Oxford comma. Rocking a really low 4.1% on the alcohol level, but that's okay.
How much?
4.1%. So good old Coors level. But now everybody can see me do what I really like to do. That's right. A little bit of shot time. Got the in-laws coming over, so can definitely need to prepare for that for Easter Sunday. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into con news. First up, TFCon Chicago has been announced, slated for October 25th at the Crown Plaza Chicago Hair. So you don't, unlike, I think the last time they had it in Chicago, it was like an hour out of town or something, and people were having to catch trains and buses and all that kind of shit. It sounds like this time it'll actually be right there at the airport.
People are saying this is like a gangsta hotel. This is not a good one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The Crown Plaza here is pretty gangsta. Yeah. we had our favorite con move from one of our favorite hotels while it was under renovation to it, and it's way out by the airport just like this, and it was kind of ghetto. But yeah, I'll see. I'm already watching the video instead of my show notes up here. And then no link to it yet, but the rumors have been swirling this weekend that San Diego Comic-Con is going to announce their cancellation tomorrow. Yeah. So
I mean, they would have to. I mean,
yeah,
it's just too close.
Yes, it'd be like a cesspool petri dish of
Oh my God, dude. You want to talk about people that don't understand personal bubbles, man. I mean, when you're waiting in line, it's a line. You don't need to sit 1 inch from me. You know, like no one's gonna squeeze in if you give me a foot, you know, kind of thing. But no, people like to bump your elbows and be right up.
Heavy breathing.
I mean, have you guys gotten con crud in the past? Because I know I get it every other year when I go to Baltimore Comic-Con. So can you imagine, like, in this situation now?
Yeah.
No way.
Did you guys see the there was a thing on the news on Friday that there's this physicist that was kind of modeling up what happens when you're in a grocery store and you're in an aisle. It's just you in an aisle and you cough. Did you see that rendered model? Yeah,
No.
I mean they're basically stating that they showed that little cough can go over up to 3 aisles over. So when you cough, it goes up and over 3 aisles.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and I did a little grocery run / some Sam's clubbing on Thursday or Friday. And so we don't have a Sam's Club near us. And then I wanted to go to a different Target for my own nefarious toy needs. Yeah, everywhere else in the city, I would say over 50%, or I would say, I mean, maybe even like maybe 60 to 65% had masks. I come back into my little suburb here, easily under 40% were wearing masks. And I'm just like, dude, I mean, even if you don't watch the news or something like that, I walked in with some millennial, no offense if we have millennial listeners, but some millennial like saying, like, what the fuck, man? If I were gonna get it, I would have already gotten it, man. So I don't even give a fuck. And I'm just like, oh my God. But
I mean, I'm gonna come out and say that, you know, I don't wear gloves. You know, I don't wear a mask. The only time I wear gloves is when I'm handling my collection. I don't feel the gloves are worth it for anything else.
Well, yeah, I mean, the gloves don't make much sense in my opinion.
But no, I mean, I'm not. So, you know, I am respecting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I am not touching things on the shelf unless I want to purchase that item. So, you know, I mean, I'm being respectful of everything. And
I've got 91% alcohol that I use. My wife does a little bit of taxidermy and things like that. So 91% alcohol, which I spray everything with. Like, even my wife's apples. I'm like, yeah. She's getting mad because it like melts bread bags and. But I don't know, a little pair.
Yeah, I haven't gone full on. So even if someone like you, Lotus, isn't rocking the mask, what are you seeing numbers wise? Are people wearing? Because you just went out today, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is very prevalent here. I'm seeing people wear the N95 or an equivalent mask, and then I'm also seeing them wearing the blood splatter expert Dexter style face shield. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous, guys. I mean, I don't see why you should have to wear a face shield. You know, I can understand the mask, but then it's just taking it too far. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm seeing all kinds of masks too. I'm seeing the full face, you know, ones that, you know, like look like a skeleton. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I've seen biker leather masks, bandanas. Right. You know, yeah. The thing that drives me nuts is like, fine, you know, Lotus, you're a single guy. You know, you're. If there's anyone I trust with personal space, it would be Lotus, right? But my thing is these people that are taking their entire family, you know, like you see mom, dad, 4 kids walking around Walmart. Like, why? Why? I mean, I get they might be going a little stir crazy, but Anyways, all right.
No, I hear you 100%. You know, I see kids that are jumping around, and you know, kids don't they can't really be. You can't tell kids to not touch stuff. You know, so they're touching the sides of the car, rolling around on the ground. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Our city has closed all our parks. You can get fined if you're in one of our parks.
That's interesting. They haven't done that here. I mean, you're still allowed to go out, exercise, and I think there was something on the news that they were saying that there was gonna be something where they're saying that possibly they're gonna make it mandatory for everyone to wear a mask. Did you hear anything nationally that they're going to try to make it mandatory? I don't even know how they would do that. I don't know how they would enforce that.
It's one of those things I haven't heard, I haven't heard of it, but I mean, like I say, to me, I've got a little one at home. I have a cool mask. We have a friend that's an upholstery guy, so he's been making masks as kind of a way to supplement his income. So not only did we get to support a friend, I've got a cool like skull and crossbones mask that's made like the best specs that they've published so far. So cool. I'm just like, I think that's my thing, and Lotus, I know you're not worried about what other people think, but I think it has a large part to do with it, is people are just like too cool to wear masks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is.
It's not normal.
Yeah, right. Oh no, I feel super weird. I feel like I'm robbing my liquor store when I go in there.
I'll be honest with you. I have a different opinion in that, when I see people wearing the mask, I'm trying to get away from them because I don't know if they have something.
Yeah. Well, and now at least in our area, they've said everybody should wear a mask if you leave. Like, I don't get the people walking their dog wearing a mask. Like, if someone comes down the sidewalk, just give them a fucking wide berth. I don't understand why you're wearing a mask walking a dog. But when I go to Walmart and no one's respecting my space, fuck yeah, I'm glad I have one.
So do you see the people driving with the mask and the gloves on?
Yeah.
That I love. That means like you're a real dirty bastard if you're worried about getting contaminated in your own car. You know what I mean? It's your car. How many other people are going in it? And you see a lot of people doing it.
That's exactly right.
But what they did in New York is all the parks, they took caution tape, like the police tape, they wrapped it around everything, and they took like the swings and they wrapped them all the way up so you can't even touch it.
Yeah, they've removed basketball hoops at our parks because that was my thing, my daughter's thing. Like, oh, at least we can go play basketball, or something like that. You're not touching anything except for your basketball, and her and I aren't dunking, so we're not going to be touching any rims or backboard, but they took all our fucking backboards down, all of our fucking hoops. But
I didn't mean to walk on that. It's all new for me. But I work in jail, and we, if you go upstairs where the jail's at, you have to wear a mask just to protect the inmates.
Yeah. And now, are you guys isolating? Are people? Is there still public areas? Are people still multiple people to a cell?
There's multiple to a cell, but we don't have anybody coming in at all. We're not even doing state transports right now, so it's crazy. I mean,
that is nuts. Well, like I say, you're on the front line, brother. I'm not working. Lotus works from home. Rock is kind of a one-man show in his gig, so big props to you, keeping us safe, and criminals deserve to be safe too. I've been a criminal multiple times, and I wouldn't want to be subjected to fucking dangerous situations.
Well, that they watch TV, and they some of them aren't the sharpest tools in the shed, so they'll start.
Yeah, just want to shout out to Peter. He's actually watching us live. For anyone who wants to join us, definitely join us. Join the chat. We'll see if we can shout you out during the show. But
hey Jay, I got a question for you. Is there anybody incarcerated in your jail from extreme couponing and changing the price stickers on Transformers and buying them for a low price and then either selling them online or returning them for full value.
No, I will tell you this: if you get locked up in Alabama for anything, it's for a long time.
And then the big boss man comes because you're doing hard time. The wrestling fans will appreciate that one.
They actually put that in this paper we have. It's called The Hard Times, where they take photos of us every week. And in the back page, it's got the Big Boss Man section.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the show. Let's talk some fun shit. First up, Lucky Draw Blackout. And Lucky Draw is kind of quotes. So normally Lucky Draw is the all gold version of figures released, and it's this usually Japan, right? But this is going to be a China Taobao exclusive. And let's see, 88 will be made of this Blackout. And Jesus Christ, this just looks like a really bad customizer's first shot at doing camo on a figure. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, this, I get it in a production, and see at 88, they're not even going to put this in a production. This is literally someone hand airbrushing this as it comes off the line.
I like this. This reminds me of like the Russian Hind helicopter.
Yeah, it does.
This is true. I have the Joe version from a JoeCon a while ago, but
like a desert camo, that thing would be pretty sweet. Or a green and beige look. I would like that a lot.
So it's just so soft. Like I think in my camo, I need harder lines, like I need what do you call it? Solid lines and solid.
I think it almost looks like maybe lightning, kind of like an airbrushed lightning effect almost.
Yeah.
More so than camouflage.
So
I don't know.
And this is exclusive, right? This is they're going to be numbered.
Yeah. It says in this pick it's 79 of 88.
Not to jump in there, but with all these cons being canceled and possibly exclusives that they're going to have, things like that, we may start seeing exclusives like this pop up more, since they're not going to be able to go to a con and get it. I'm curious about that.
Well, I know so WonderCon is the LA con that is run by San Diego Comic-Con. So people may hear Comic-Con, Tennessee Comic-Con, or Maine Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con only runs 2 shows, San Diego and then a show called WonderCon in LA. WonderCon was literally supposed to be like last weekend or maybe even this weekend, and it got canceled. And Funko, of course, had 30 exclusives for WonderCon, and they put them online for sale. So yeah, Jay, I think that's a great point. I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. They cancel San Diego Comic-Con. Hasbro, that shit's on a boat here already. Whatever Hasbro was going to do for San Diego Comic-Con, that shit's made and on a boat to us. So yeah, I'll be curious. Like Pulse, if you're a premium Pulse member, you shouldn't miss one Hasbro exclusive this year, kind of thing, because we're going to have first shot at all those San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, hopefully, and nobody else will have any chance at them, or at least before us. So yeah,
I think they should offer, like, if you've actually bought, there's people that bought tickets to these shows and had to get them refunded, things like that, give them first dibs,
I like that idea. Again, the logistics would be interesting, but I agree with you. I think that would be the fairest way to handle it is, but again, how you would have to prove to Hasbro that you had a ticket, you'd have to prove to Funko, prove to Mattel.
But I thought that's how they normally do it anyway. I mean, at least for SDCC, you have to be in a special waiting room to get tickets, and it's first come, first serve. And
well, and I'm more talking about like out on the floor. So
okay.
At the con itself, you have a badge, and the badge gets you into a line to get you a ticket to get into another line to go buy the exclusives and that kind of stuff. And they punch your lanyard and all that kind of thing. So if you try to get into Hasbro twice, they just turn over, they just look at your badge and they're like, oh, you've already bought all this stuff. Yeah. There's lots of protection when you're in person, but yeah, it'll be interesting how they do that online. When Hasbro says, hey, our exclusives are up, it's going to be a crush to try to fucking get those. Same, like I can't even imagine the Funko shit, what that's going to be like, because Funko, they have 90 exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con. How do you even fucking get those added to your cart before they sell out? Like you literally got to pick 3 and then check out kind of thing. Yeah. But who knows? SH Figure Arts announced their Beskar armor Mando along with the child. Very cute. Yeah. I mean, I think do they have the Beskar armor here? We're seeing IG-11. Yeah. Love that it's in a little case that you can strap to the IG-11. That's dope. And then just like everybody was saying, that Beskar armor looks amazing on him. I'm excited. I'm not going to be getting SH Figure Arts, but I'm excited for that to hit Black Series at least.
Did they say the price point on this? Is this going to be in that $70 range, or is it going to be more because it's 2 figures?
Well, and I think they're separate.
Oh, they are?
Oh, yeah, okay. I think it's Baby Yoda's one.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's a single release and not an accessory.
Okay.
It looks like he has separate heads too. They don't show him separately, but his eyes are closed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's got. And how about the ears too? Yeah, see here you have a laying down. I mean, that's how they're going to justify. I mean, SH Figure Arts are $70 to $90 nowadays, at least. So that's how they're going to try to, this thing's got to be tiny. We're talking about a 1/12 scale. So
maybe
about the size of an egg.
Yeah. Oh, here's the accessories here. So you can close the egg off. It's got the little bone broth cup.
Interesting. They doesn't come with the frog though.
I know. The frog that was the one part. Like I tried to get Little Miss McFavorite to watch this with me, and she wouldn't. But she happened to walk in while I was rewatching that part, and ate the frog. And I thought I had her. She laughed her ass off. She was just like, that's hilarious. I'm like, the whole show is about this Baby Yoda. Don't you want to watch it? She's like, no, I'm good. Just like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's a funny story. My wife, I had a comic book store for about a year, and I was working a regular job and doing the comic book store. And my wife, God love her, she ran the store while I was working. She has no nerd in her at all for this stuff. I mean, she likes Rocky Horror, and she collects like horror stuff and paints and stuff like that. But you can just imagine the kind of clientele that would come in, asking about the magic cards or this figure or that. And my wife's like, I don't know. So God love her though. She did help me. I finally closed it though. She was so happy.
So AAA, Peter is saying that this figure sold out within 30 minutes on a lot of the online hobby stores.
Wow. Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, SH Figure Arts is one of the crazy things. Oh, and he's saying the child. I wonder if how the Mando did. And welcome, Engineer Nerd. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, John. Hey. From the Action Figure Blues podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out. Shout out to our podcasting brethren.
Hey, John's trying to win a contest. I actually voted for him today on ThinkGeek, so maybe we could try to get some other people from the group to go on and vote for him, and he can try to win that contest.
Yeah.
If you search the group for ThinkGeek, because we haven't had a lot of ThinkGeek posts on there, you'll see Engineer Nerds post, and it's super easy. Now his local ThinkGeek store has been like spamming me with requests to like their page.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, now I see why they did this. But hey, it's worth it. You got to support people. It's just a stupid email. You just ignore it,
Yeah, I'm sad my local ThinkGeek is gone.
Yeah, mine too.
I never had them. Even our EB Games, because that was the evolution, right? Was
Babbage's Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, and GameStop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we have GameStops, but I never saw a ThinkGeek store around.
Land.
All right, let's get on. We're deep into this cast and only a few things. Jada Diecast Joe's. Nothing too exciting here. Let's see. What do we? Oh. It's going to be fun to learn how to navigate this so it's the best experience for the user. So looks like we get some coffee beans to show the size here, but yeah, it is. Maybe if this comes in like a 6-pack, or they do those little 3-packs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, have you guys, so when I go to Walmart and I look around, I remember like last year there was a whole lot of diecast figures that were like X-Men and Marvel. There was like all different.
They do Harry Potter. They have.
Yeah, do you remember those? They were like around a price at like $1 each, and then they did have like 5-packs. I don't know.
Too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was because that's I Mrs. McFavorite's kind of gotten out of collecting, but she's still a Harry Potter freak. And I'm like, hey, with this line, you could get all the main characters. They had a little play set, like you're talking, Jay, where you could fit like 18 of the characters on that play set. And she was just like, no, I don't need that.
That's actually a good idea. Peter just said he's going to be buying them for his Diaclone base. That's actually a good idea. You could put these all around your base. I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool. And Jay, it looks like we lost your video. Are you still there?
That's okay.
I can't scroll and see. How much are those?
I don't know if did it show a price? Did I miss it?
Yeah, I think a lot of these articles, I don't really think they give us pricing, especially if it's like a new announcement. Normally, like I said, those other figures like the X-Men and all like Superman, the DC figures, they were like $1 each. I think they were like 97 cents each. Oh, there it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's Ryu. Do you guys say Ryu or Ryu? I say Ryu.
I say Ryu.
Oh, you say Ryu? I thought it was Ryu.
It probably is, and that's just my American.
Yeah, see, Jay's got exactly what I was talking about. They're like 97 cents each, right?
Yeah, they were $1 each.
Oh, cool.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had Street Fighter. They had DC and Marvel.
Yeah. Okay, I do remember because I'll buy anything Green Lantern, but he was in a multi-pack, and I didn't want to spend the money for the multi-pack. All right. Well, those are interesting. Good to see some Joe news either way, right?
Yep.
Again, this isn't going to be too exciting, but we get new pics of the Netflix series. This was kind of cool. I don't know if Peter posted this in the group or just in our private chat. Oh, wow. There we go. The difference between WFC Skywarp and Hot Link, and I'm definitely the Hot Link is just too dark for me with all that black and dark gray. You got to have this light gray to break it up, in my opinion, for the Skywarp. Get to see the Hound hasn't really changed too much. You get the super dirty side swipe here. Let's see if we take a look at that.
I think we saw.
Yeah. Teletran 1 backgrounds. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is definitely cool. That is definitely cool.
And then here's the exclusive Megatron. Not the exclusive. Oh, come on, internet. Why are you fucking with me? Looks like you're going to get a couple weapons masters with him, but still, yeah.
I think these will be a clearance figure, honestly. This whole stuff,
And they have the Magnus, and I'm a Magnus like fanatic completist, and I'm just like, no, I don't fucking need this, It's just super dirty, and that's it. What the hell is this? Oh, Energon cubes.
Oh.
Which I don't know what the black thing is, but yeah, I mean, just no need for this, in my opinion, whatsoever. But all right.
That's cool. John said those diecast figures also came in the Muppets, because I know he collects Snoopy and Muppets and everything. So that's kind of cool. I haven't seen the Muppets, but Jada Toys just seems to make so many different. I mean, they're just constantly pumping out toys. And if it's diecast, they're there.
Yeah, they're like the Funko of diecast, right?
Yeah,
They'll
exactly.
Just get as many licenses as they humanly can.
Well, think about it. I mean, you could pick those up at a, dollar store. I mean, that's why I picked them up. They're dirt cheap.
Yeah. 7 new Hasbro Star Wars figures revealed. This was a Hasbro Pulse fan celebration thing. We get to see the Beskar armor Mandalorian. Again, now looking at it against the SH Figure Arts, I actually like this better. They kept the probably the more screen accurate brown on his jumpsuit there, but I think this looks good. Poor Akbar. It looks like his little vest thing is just choking him out here. Like, what the fuck, man? And I love Akbar. We get some carbonized figures here. So we get a carbonized Boba Fett if you need a shiny Boba Fett in your life. Package is kind of cool, the metallic green.
So these are all just normal releases, or are these going to be like a special promotion kind of a thing?
Let's see, does it say if any of these are going to be?
I mean, are these just normal
I think they're, yeah, I mean, because I pre-ordered, we haven't gotten to it yet, but there's a carbonized Stormtrooper. I pre-ordered it off of just some site. I don't even know which one, probably Big Bad Toy Store. We get a Black Series. I forget what the fuck this is.
Is that a Wookiee? What is that?
No, it's
TiVo, right?
Yeah, TiVo, yeah.
That looks incredible.
Yeah. He's looking amazing. And what this is going to do is this gives them the body to start knocking out Ewoks in the Black Series line. So,
hey, scroll up to Akbar again. Look at his arms. I never realized that he had little fishy arms. Like,
oh yeah, he's got
like claw crab arms.
I mean, the color is great on it. It's just unfortunately the head looks like it need a little bit more neck joint or something to push it out a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know if this looks like the little like vest looks like a molded piece, and it just is like riding way too high on him.
This is the Admiral Akbar figure after you put him in the boiling water.
Here's the carbonized Stormtrooper, which is interesting. They went with silver, but again, I'm a Stormtrooper guy and I'm a silver guy, so
it's all the leftover paint for the Captain Phasma figures that they were going to do for the last movie. So they got to use it up now. It's in the factory, so.
For vintage collection, we get K2SO. Is that right?
Yeah,
I liked his character. I thought it was a fun character.
I dug him too. And I like the actor, and I have all the other versions of him. So that version, I've actually pre-ordered them. And then also vintage collection, we get the Clone Wars Commander Wolf. And again, I'm a Gray fan, I'm a Commander fan, I'm a double wielding pistol fan. So this was a no-brainer for me. And I'm a big Scar with a scarred eye fan. So
Peter's calling Rock out. He's saying that Phasma doesn't have metallic paint.
I was just making a joke about leftover paint, and then Hasbro all the repaints. To me, it looks pretty similar.
Yeah, I didn't realize that again because I didn't buy into the Phasma hype. I fucking saw that coming as like a Darth Maul thing.
Oh, I did. I thought it was gonna be the coolest character ever. I'm like, it's the new Boba Fett. It's gonna be so awesome. And the character did Ugats for 2 movies. Yeah.
And it was the Boba Fett character. That's what Boba Fett did too.
Yeah,
but it's all the mythos and all the EU shit that really brought.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't these new molds? Are these brand new molds?
Yes, yeah, definitely KTSO is, and this is the first time I think we've ever seen this like Phase 3/2 helmet here.
So it's not the Captain Rex helmet.
No, not that I'm aware of. I thought the Captain Rex was like the definite Phase 3. But.
See, now that's cool. If you stop and think about it, it's made by the same people that are making Transformers. We've got brand new molds, brand new paint. I mean, if you go back and look at the cape and the helmet on Boba Fett, he's got the dent. Yeah. His cape is phenomenal. Whereas you go back to the Transformers. And, we're getting a whole new Netflix series, and we're getting the same crap that we got, with new paint. So I got to give them credit on this. It's nice seeing new molds.
Well, and to their defense, they're just trying to support media that probably should have been out 2 years ago or something, and something happened to that. But yeah, I'm digging Earthrise. I haven't gone all in on it yet, but I've been loving it. Select Super Megatron. Now, any of us know what? Well, I'm sure it'll say. Any of us know what the hell this is from? Why there's.
I'm not too sure, but there was definitely a lot of talk on all the sites of people really liking this figure for some reason.
Really? Yeah.
I don't really know the history of this at all.
Version.
So there's artwork for it, so that means it had to come from something. Let's see. It kind of that's not bad. Yeah. The cheapest place I've seen this so far has been Pulse has it for $60 right now, so you don't have to go through. Takara Tomy Mall had it at first, and blah blah blah. But if you're interested in it, hit Pulse. This I'm kind of digging. Again, I was full on like Star Wars hype mode for Revenge of the Sith. And so the 501st Anakin's clone trooper brigade, I was all about it. I had everything 501st back then. And this is kind of cool. Hasbro's digging out some of their classic molds with some changes in it to reveal a 501st Legion clone trooper set. Only thing I wish it had was Rex, unless that is Rex. and I just am not caught up on Clone Wars enough, but a Rex to lead them here.
You know, I mean, obviously I don't follow Star Wars, but did you guys watch the Lego episode this week of the Star Wars Lego?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Holy crap. Those two dudes that they built that Ewok village, that was so awesome.
See, I was kind of disappointed in the Ewok village.
I thought the colors. I like the colors, you know. But I mean, the that other team that did the red, I don't remember what. Oh, crate something. It was,
Battle of Crate.
Battle of Crate. Yeah, that was cool.
Sorry, this is bad about this. I'm looking at the private chat, bouncing back and forth. But yeah, they did. I was very impressed with what they did, because again, those two had been in the bottom two almost regularly.
Yeah. Well, the guy was freaking out, right? I mean, he was like crying, you know, saying that he wasn't going to be able to do it. So obviously they did a bunch of editing to make him look like that.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Ewok battle, the Battle of Endor. I was kind of disappointed with, I mean, they blew it out of the water with that Hoth diorama, but at the beginning they were talking about, we're going to have the biggest explosion here, because in the movie it's a huge explosion that like blinds the screen and all this kind of stuff. So I do give it to Sam and Jessica, the couple that's kind of been just, you know, digging their way through the whole show, that they did like that. The smoke that they had, or the dust, whatever you want to call it, looked really dynamic. They did. That was probably their best build so far. So
yeah, I mean, even John is saying, Engineer Nerd is even saying that, you know, there was a lot of details in that Ewok village. Now, like I said, I don't know of, you know, I don't really, it doesn't really mean anything to me, so I wouldn't be able to find the details, but I just thought it looked nice with the, you know, with the greens and the browns, and, you know.
Yeah, and I agree with Peter saying that Tyler and Amy, so they're the married
I'm really
couple.
shocked about those guys. If you remember, go back to the first episode, that Amy girl, she said that basically she wasn't even a Lego builder. Like, she was they just got married, and she's just along for the ride. And
exactly,
she's I mean, she has to know something to do it, because I mean, even if she's being just directed by her husband, I mean, that's still, she's doing something.
And an Engineer Nerd say, so who do you like, Engineer Nerd, if you're not a Tyler and Amy fan? And we'll move on to the next story here while he puts that in the chat. So and I want to give a big shout out right now to Lotus. Lotus is the person that found this new platform, or was exposed to it through other podcasts he did, and I'm loving the shit out of it. Jay, I know this is your first time on the show, but I mean, are you liking it so far?
Yeah, it's super clean. It looks easy to use. Like I said, I use the I can't remember the OBS or
that's like I said, that's kind of an older platform. I mean, like I said, a lot of gamers are using that, but this platform is just so easy to use, and it's so professional, you know.
It's pretty slick. I mean,
how about you, Rock? You enjoying it?
Yeah, just the only thing for me it's different is I'm so used to listening through my phone and looking everything through the iPad. So now, like, I'm squinting at the iPad trying to look at the notes because I can't pull them up on my phone. Other than that, it's fine. I just have to get used to. I have to put the notes on my phone. This way, I can kind of look at things also. But it's a different form. But I'm enjoying it. The only thing is, I just hear a little crackling on the audio sometimes. I don't know if you guys hear that at all. Like, when I'm muted, I hear a little crackling sometimes.
Interesting. I haven't heard it, but I'll have to.
Oh, sorry, I'm eating Rice Krispies.
Yeah, it's loaded for the
Coco or the plain ones?
Just the plain.
But no, I'm enjoying it. No, it's definitely different. It just took a little while to get situated in before we started.
Let's see. Artwork for Roton and Point Dread have been released here. So I thought we had seen this already, but anyway, so we get a good picture here of Roton and Battle Armor He-Man with Battle Cat there. It says this final box art for upcoming Mega Constructs release. Roll the Roton along the floor and the buzzsaw spins. It includes approximately 170 pieces. So I'm excited if we get to build that action feature, or if it's just going to be some like black box of gears that you just stick in your model and it does it itself. So especially like we were talking about on the Star Wars episode, them building the droids, like that would be crazy, because I'm kind of like Sam and Jessica. I have never done custom Legos where you use animatronics and the motors and the gears and all of that. So I'll be interested to see if this Roton features any of that.
Before we move on, just to go back to John's favorite, so he likes the two beard dudes, the beardos.
Yeah, and I've just kind of been. They do amazing detail work, but I think their like overall stuff lacks a little bit. And
I'm kind of with Peter. I mean, it's too bad that that Aaron and Christian, those two dudes, engineer dudes. Too bad that they lost that one challenge, because they seem to be winning every time.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be the married couple and then those two young dudes. I thought for sure that's what it was going to be, but right on for big ups to the Lumberjacks. They've done some very technical builds that were really good. So here we see Point Dread that has Panther, Battle Armor Skeletor. We get a mini comics Sorceress as well as Zodak in there. And as we saw at Toy Fair, the Point Dread will attach to the Gray Skull, just like the original toys did, if you've got that Lego Gray or Mega Constructs Gray Skull. Studio Series Devastator. So we've seen awful pictures of this. We've seen better pictures of this. Now we get a full-on review. I kind of glanced through it. I'm all in on it, so I'm buying it whether or not. So I didn't want to be spoiled on some of the stuff. But if you're curious about it, it's still... Lotus had reported that some people are having a hard time finding figures for it, but I've been able to find most of the figures still pretty readily, easily at my stores, except for maybe the dump truck. He's been the one that I've only seen once or twice and was gone. But if you're interested in that, if that's your thing, like it is my thing, Studio Cell Unicron transformation video.
Yeah.
This looks like this was posted in our group by none other than Engineer Nerd here. I didn't even watch it. It's just I have a $600 one coming my way, so this one is just no care to me. But
I like the aesthetic look of it.
Yeah. I mean, when they don't have the weird headmasters attached to it, I think it looks great. And what's crazy, I would be all in on it if Hasbro hadn't done a bigger one. Like if this was the only one that exists, or not the only one, but if this was the only one that's existed since like that 2014 re-release they did of the old mold, I would definitely get it. But for once, Hasbro, in my opinion, has a better product coming out, whether this is more articulated or, not doesn't have the Pringles chips on the back of its, calves and all that kind of shit. I just
don't like that it's not, it's just not tall enough. But
Yeah.
you got to give them credit to do a video, a stop motion video. That takes a lot to edit all that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
This is the farthest I've watched it, and I didn't realize how impressive this video was. This video is really nice.
Now, what version is this? Is this because this isn't anything I recognize?
Yeah, this is just a third-party company that basically, the rumor was. So this was originally Zeta Toys.
Well, I mean, the fact that it doesn't look like Unicron to me, like the head looks like an ape.
So this is their thing. So when Hasbro was doing the HasLab kind of like Kickstarter for Unicron, this was originally, it's Toy World, right? Is this Toy World or Zeta?
Yeah, it was Zeta. It was Zeta originally. Yeah.
So Zeta released this, and because they were in this big, like, multi-million-dollar Kickstarter, Hasbro finally sent them a cease and desist and made them take all the pre-orders down, all this kind of shit. So now, any time that this new company has shown it, Studio Cell, quote, Studio Cell, they don't show the head.
Yeah, or if they do show a head, they just show a random head stuck on top of it. That's not the real head, though. There are, if you go to like Showz's store online, if you want to order it, you'll see there's pictures there of the actual real head sculpt.
Really? And how much is this one?
It was originally $259, but now it seems like it's selling for around $289. Free shipping from
and I just went and checked. So even TF Source is carrying this, but they're selling it for like $379. I think they're trying to build in some insurance if they get takedown notices for it. But yeah, it's ridiculous if you go with a US seller. But yeah, you can go with some overseas sellers.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
What's Baba Booey selling it for?
Should be,
Baba Bobo.
I think it's around. I think it's, like I said, I think all the sellers, they originally were around $259, but then they kind of raised their price up to around $289.
Yeah, and
wow.
Just because Rock brings it up, I think I saw it for $329 because I'm subscribed to him as a seller now.
Yeah, it's possible that it keeps on going up.
Yeah,
it's all about demand.
All right. Hot Toys. Oh, I didn't even put what it was. Hot Toys life-size baby Yoda here, or the child, the asset. What are we looking at? $410.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I still feel that the one that Sideshow is collaborating with Legacy Effects on, I still feel that is the better choice.
Over the Hot Toys.
Over the Hot Toys.
I hadn't heard of that one. So Sideshow's going to do their own competing one?
So Sideshow is working with Legacy Effects. Legacy Effects is the studio who actually built the real puppet in the show.
Oh,
so Legacy Effects has the original mold because they created the original mold. So basically they're basing the character off of the original mold. And it's going to be sold through Sideshow, but it's Legacy Effects that's doing the actual work.
So that's a hell of a seam on his ears there.
That's the thing, is the ears are removable, and that seam is really, people are really upset about that.
Yeah.
The face, just if you compare it to the Sideshow one, the Sideshow one is spot on. This, if you put them side to side, that's really the only way to tell. But yeah, this is not. I don't know. I just don't think this is the right one. I feel like they rushed it out, and Hot Toys is not known for doing that. So,
Well, yeah, because no one even found out about this until last November.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's impressive they've got to here, but yeah, I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see what that other one comes out. And like you say, so have there been people that have done side by sides yet, or just literally pasting photos?
I mean, just go to Sideshow site and type in the child. I mean, it's just so much of a better. I mean, it just looks like the character is in your possession. It's just much better. But yeah, just go to Sideshow here and just type in the child, or it might even be on the front page. And I think it's about $20 cheaper. I think it was around, I don't know. I think it was maybe $3.99, something like that. Should be life size.
Oh wow, $60 cheaper.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm just gonna chime in here.
See how it's got the hair? I mean, it's just there's no seam on the ear. That it's got the fuzzy hair, and it's just.
Which version is this?
This is going to be made by. It's distributed by Sideshow. It's life size, but it's Legacy Effects, which is the original. It's the original mold.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But what it does look like, though, is that it's stuck in this one expression, though, right? Like that's where Hot Toys is going to try to, because it's got the.
I don't think they have multiple heads for the Hot Toys one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think they have multiple heads. They have multiple ears. That's why the seam is there for the ears.
Oh, okay.
But they're not changing the face, I don't believe.
Oh, damn it!
But
you had me at hair.
Yeah, I think that's because that that was real memorable. Like even in the what was it? Maybe the first or second episode where he's using the Force and he's trying to hold up that whatever that creature was, and you could see his hair was like moving.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Same expression. Some different. You got like lower ears and higher ears, but yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know. It just for some reason the Hot Toys ones looks more like a toy this time instead of an actual representation of the actual character, which I don't normally ever say because, like I said, Hot Toys is always awesome, but I'm just not a fan of those.
What was that, Jay?
I said the price point is higher on this one, right?
Yeah, this is $410, and then the Sideshow one is $350. Yeah, it just looks like it's like flocked. The hair is just flocked up there. But all right,
yeah, we'll see.
Two choices. Oh, let's go back there. Figure King scans. So we get to see some Skylinks here. Skylinks is looking really good in my opinion.
Yeah.
We get to see the Quintessons. Yeah.
I still think that people are going to buy the Quintesson. I think that's still going to be like when you see that on the store shelves, I think that's going to be something that everyone's going to want to have in their collection.
Yeah. I pre-ordered and then as soon as this was announced, I saw a few people posting their Cyberverse Quintessons up for sale. Yeah, nothing really exciting here. Some more of the Studio Series stuff. It's really the Skylinks. That's the star of these scans here. And then premium format Royal Guards. So this is one of my top 3 figures or top 3 characters in Star Wars, in my opinion. Don't get a lot of love, but this is just absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. So people not familiar with the premium format figures and quotes, these are 2 feet tall. They're a mixture of, I believe, resin and then soft goods. Yeah. That's kind of where
it's normally like a polystone. It's they use the traditional polystone, And then they do a lot of the mixed media where they do soft goods and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about this many times that if you're looking for a key character to, and I don't think this is 2 feet tall, right? This is going to be a quarter scale.
It says 23.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So yeah. Well, that's right. That's quarter scale, right? Yeah. That's. But anyway, yeah. I mean,
Oh yes, it is quarter
I
scale.
think we,
You're right.
like I said, we've talked about this. That hey, maybe you're not a statue collector, but if you're looking to have that ultimate, representation, you put this in the middle of your shelf, and then you put other figures around it. I mean, it's just a focal point.
Yeah. Yeah. This would, like I say, trust me, I was looking for kind of a big purchase to kind of mark my grandfather's passing. And I considered it, but I still can't do it. I still can't do it. New movie MP headed our way. What's today? Is today the 12th? So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Chinese time. Oh, wonder if we might get the announcement while we're recording. China, 8 p.m. To my time zone here, Mountain Time. Oh, 6 a.m. my time, 8 p.m. Rock's time, or 8 a.m. Rock's time tomorrow. We'll find out what the next movie masterpiece figure is going to be. All right, let's go ahead and get into third party real quick. How are we doing? What are we on? 1 hour? Yeah, let's knock third party out real quick, and then we're going to take a break. First up, Cang Toys Tantrum. So we had already seen, what's the cat's name for that? Is it Rampage?
Yeah. No, well, Tantrum is the bull, right?
Yeah.
Rampage. I think you're right. I think it is Rampage. I have Catilla in my head. I have I have Catilla in my head, but it's not Catilla, it's a pretender.
Yeah, so it's Rampage. So this will be their second release. And again, just like we said with Rampage, it's too chuggy. Like, you're not going to buy masterpiece size chugs, in my opinion. Or at least not anymore if you're a masterpiece guy. But looks cool. I'm a chug collector, so I love chugs. I just don't want a chug that it's that big, Mm-hmm. I think MMC's Predaking is going to be the ultimate Predaking ever released in that scale. Thundercats are up for pre-order. Of course, these are the Thundercats Ultimates.
And what is that? Is that the second wave or is that the third wave? Okay.
Well, this is so they did an Ultimates wave where they re-released figures we had already gotten, but with a bunch of extra accessories. Well, I guess they added Moonra, like the full version of them. But yeah, I would consider this the second wave. Because this was the first wave.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, this is the third wave.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the second wave was all new characters besides Palmyra. She was.
Now, are these prices go up compared to what they used to be?
No, I mean Super 7 has always, their Ultimates line has always been $45. Now, when Mattel did the Thundercats Classics, those were like 30 to 35, somewhere in there. So Super 7 has added a premium, but they've also added a ton of accessories. And that's Super 7 has basically said everything we do will be the ultimate version. So you won't get another release. So we look at Chitara here. She comes with an extra head, 6 hands, the little mirror thing, like I think it was like her iPad essentially. I don't know what the slingshot. Oh, that's a little flute thing that they played, and then a little. I would have liked to see more sizes in her bow staff, right? Because that bow staff would be like super long sometimes.
Right.
So if they made like 2 that connected or something.
Or if they could have just made the one kind of like extendable.
Yeah.
But,
It was just like a double telescoping lightsaber.
But yeah, she was known to extend that depending on what she was doing, if she was jumping or whatever.
Yeah, pole vaulting a mountain and shit. But so these are the ultimate versions. I love that BBTS lets you cherry pick. This is where I've pre-ordered from because I really don't care about Captain Crackers here. Like maybe if they were to get to an entire line of the pirates, and maybe they will, and I'll be kicking myself and paying twice as much for Captain Cracker. But
I've never seen that character.
Oh, right. He's part of the pirates. It's late in the series, but
I agree with Lotus. I have never ever seen him.
Nope. Not part of my childhood.
This I really dig. Just for the cheesiness of it. So again, this is a group. This is from Rock. I love this.
Yeah,
that
was me.
Transformers Millennial Edition, Cloudchaser. The colors are just amazing. It's like
this is something I would pick up definitely.
Are you a Vapor J?
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore. But I am fascinated with Transformers that are real objects. I've been looking at those lately. Like if I could get a Transformer that was like a Busch Light beer can, or something like that. I would pick that up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this one's dope. Again, I vape, but not on the level that I have like the customized setup or anything like that. But
what's great about this though is you could, I don't take my toys anywhere with me usually when I'm out and about. That I could take this and like take it to work, and people go, "Oh, it's your vape," like, yeah, it is, And then when nobody's around, I can play with them. And
that's awesome.
I can't believe somebody even made that. To me, I was just like, "Wow, this is." It's just going to be ironic with it, or did they really think it was a cool idea to make it?
Just so you know what you're I mean, this is a complete like April Fool's joke. I mean, I don't think.
Oh, it was that. That's what I figured, but
yeah,
I'm like, you never know. I mean, these third parties and Shang Mei and all these other things, you guys, Taobao and all these other third party things I see. I thought it could have been possible.
And like I say, I will never say anything is not possible, but I don't see any lines in the vape itself or anything like that. But who knows?
No, it's amazing engineering.
All right, let me get back here. Transform element, that's Scorponok, and then something I didn't put in the news. Well, they're showing it here. I put this in. I really dig Scorponok. Like I know he kind of had a very lackluster exit from the Beast Wars cartoon. But the more they do these Legends class Beast Wars, the more I think I want to get into them.
This is not Legends class though, right?
It is. Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
I thought this was MP size.
No. Transform Element is the one that's making the little ones.
No, Transform Element, they made the Optimus Prime TE01.
Well,
that was
that's
MP.
the only MP they've done. The rest have been. So just for scale, that's an MP box behind it. An MP.
Right. And isn't that MP Black Arachnia?
No, this is their Black Arachnia, their Legends.
Okay. Gotcha.
And this is their new one that they just like fully announced was the Rat Trap. Yeah.
Now,
you got to think of one of those MP boxes, because that Optimus Prime is pretty small. But, Sorry, Jay, what were you saying?
Oh, it's just that these I can get behind these, even though I never really enjoyed that particular era of Transformers. But I don't know the way that they're made now, they just look so seamless.
Yeah, and I got into them mainly because I was a college student, and it was literally like one of the craziest nights of partying and sex I had ever had in my life. And then we were still up at 6:30 in the morning in my room, and I turn on the TV and here's Transformers. What the fuck is this? And then I kept watching it from then on. So my initial introduction to Beast Wars was magical, and then I've kind of dug it ever since then. Not enough to pay $330 for an MP Megatron or $280 for an MP Dinobot, but I could probably get in on these $30 legends.
So Engineer Nerd says Rock's okay with transforming toilets, but draws the line at vape.
Yep. I actually saw Scorponok's first appearance today on Tubi on Transformers G1. It was actually the last episode of the original G1 series.
Yeah.
It's season 4, episode 3. Yeah, it's like a 3-episode story with the headmasters and all that. That's what I've been doing all weekend, is actually binging G1 Transformers. So it was nice to see headmasters. Never saw that before.
Yeah, and I have it. I have the 3 Japanese series on DVD, but I've just never watched them because they're not dubbed; they're subtitled, so you have to read them.
Oh,
so there's a whole Headmaster series that spins off from that point on Japanese G1 cartoons.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I bet you they were, when I ordered them, it was a big thing on Amazon and I got a great deal. I bet you anything they still have the box sets on Amazon if you can stand to read your cartoons,
No, too lazy, too unfocused to do that. I watch TV while I scroll through eBay. I can't do that. But next is Beast Wars are up for me, so I'm looking forward to
that. All right. Next, we have the most successful action figure Kickstarter in the world. So, wow. I really loved that 4 Horsemen held this title for years and years and years. Marauders knocked them off, and then they came right back and beat them out. But now, this is, to me, this is a Larry Hama experience. I got to meet Todd McFarlane once, and he was just a douchebag. And now every time I see videos of him, it just reminds me of how much of a douchebag he is. And so now, granted, I backed this project. With that being said, I backed this project. But so he is re-releasing his Spawn Series 1 Spawn figure with his modern articulation, which isn't the greatest. He doesn't make particularly amazing modern figures, but this thing was a goal of 100,000, and this is 26 days ago, or 26 days to go. But even 2 days ago, it was at $1,200,000.
I'm calling shit on all of it.
Really?
Yeah. Todd's got enough money to where he can. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's pretty insane. So here's the original 90s figure Spawn. It came with a comic back. It was a clamshell version that had the original Spawn #1 in it. Here he shows off all the articulation, which again, I'm not arguing that McFarlane doesn't make amazingly articulated figures now. It used to be all about sculpt, fuck articulation. Now they're going like crazy articulation, maintaining the sculpt, but they're not maintaining the integrity. You know, I have a few McFarlane figures in this modern articulation, and they just, you put them in one pose and that's all they can do. You know, if you move them around, their joints start loosening up. But what drives me absolutely fucking nuts with this is Todd McFarlane signs everything. Yeah. He actually has McFarlane shops out in Arizona. That's where he's based. That's where his company's based. He actually has shops out there. And you go into those shops, and half the shit is signed by him in there. Not replica, like literally like Sharpie signed by him. So his signature is not hard to get whatsoever. But he's charging you an extra $40 for this signature plate if you want one of these figures. It's kind of goofy, but there's only 3 versions. You get the classic masked, you get the unmasked, what they lovingly call the hamburger head or stitched version, and then you get an artist prototype. There you go, Rock. There's what you need, bro.
Yes. Do they make a painted one?
or you can buy a 3-pack. They already fucked up in this Kickstarter. So they announced this, that you would get 2 extra heads. You would get this human Al Simmons head and get a screaming artist proof head if you bought the 3-pack. Well, that was supposed to be a stretch goal. And so when they announced the $1 million stretch goal, it's like everybody's going to get a second pair of hands, and people that bought the 3-pack, the heads weren't supposed to be in there, but now you do get them. You know, like it was like if I had bought the 3-pack, I would have been a little pissed off that, like, you already said we got the 2 new heads. That wasn't supposed to be the $1 million stretch goal, but. Anyways,
I think the Screaming Head's the best one. What do you guys think?
It is. I agree. I love the fucking Screaming.
That's my favorite. If I was going to get it, that's what I'd want displayed with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
I want a clear version.
I love clear versions. I love seeing all this shit when you get clear versions.
Yeah, I'm with Peter on this. I never got into Spawn at all. I think there was one Spawn movie, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it, you know, this and that, but yeah, but it just, there is a huge following. Obviously this proves that there is. I mean, are you guys in on any of this? Is this?
So I did the basic figure, which was $40 here. This classic Spawn. I'm not logged in, so it's not showing me. The shitty part is it's $40, but the shipping is $17, and they say it's estimated. And so I'm like, I live one state away from this fucker, and it's going to cost me $17 to ship a figure to me. It seems a little ridiculous, but
yeah.
I mean, a medium rate flat rate box is $15.40. So maybe this thing is so big that's what they're going to ship it in.
Yeah,
medium rate box. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a nice size.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 1/12 scale figure. Then it has to fit a full comic in there. Like when they released the original version, I don't think it was a full comic. I think it was like a downsized one. But I'll tell you the worst thing that this has done to me is now I want to find that fucking Series 1 Spawn from the 90s. And I already did some eBay searches, and it hasn't skyrocketed since this Kickstarter, but it's definitely gone up. You could get it for about 50 to 55 before the Kickstarter, and now it's about 75 to 80. And just to give you an idea, it's casemates. So it was sold in a case of 6. There were variants to those cases. All of them came with comics. Its casemates go for about $10 a piece.
Wow.
And this figure and this Spawn goes for 75 to 80 now after the Kickstarter. So,
and let me guess, if it's mint on card, it's probably that plastic that turned yellow, right? Like
No,
bubbles
actually,
yellow.
what I've seen has been there have been some yellowed ones and like the sold ones, but for the most part, most of them have been pretty clear. So,
Oh wow, because I know like the McFarlane movie Maniacs, those are really brittle bubbles, and those are from late '90s.
yeah, and it was right around that same time. So I don't know if just the
Yeah.
ones being sold. I mean, there's people that are selling cases of the figures. Now, again, you get 5 other ones that are only worth $10 a piece, but people that are still selling sealed cases of these.
Wow. So it's just as overproduced as the comic book, huh?
Exactly.
I think the whole Spawn thing is completely overrated. That's just my opinion.
See, and I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I read a few issues of the comic and was kind of like, I've just never been a big reader of comics in general, but the HBO animated series is dope.
Yeah.
I love the HBO.
I have that on DVD. Yep.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
What is that, digital video disc?
It is digital video disc.
I saw a guy today wearing a CD, the CD logo, the compact disc logo. That was kind of cool.
That is cool. I don't think I can't even picture it. It's
the compact disc logo. Yeah, if you Google it, you'll see. I mean, it just instantly hits you because that was such a big thing. Is when they first came out. And just seeing that logo just brings back.
Oh, this
yep,
thing here?
there it is. There it is. The compact and the big disc. Yep.
Yeah.
So someone was wearing a shirt that said compact disc digital audio. So cool.
Well, that's what I was telling my daughter. Is my daughter, because we have lots of DVDs and Blu-rays, like she knows what that looks like. But if I were to show her a CD and say this isn't a movie, she'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What is it?"
Right.
All she knows to do is say, "Hey Google, play zombie soundtrack or something." Oh shit, my phone's gonna play it. All right, I'm about to pee my pants. So this is where we get into kind of a weird part of the show for audio listeners. Unfortunately, we're gonna keep the show running while we take this break. I'm gonna try to figure out something to put in here, like either our intro or outro music or both. But for right now, you're just gonna get dead air for about 5 minutes. Just fast forward through your podcast and we'll try to make this a better experience on the next show. So I'll see all you fudgers in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Or
okay.
These, well, we won't really have messages. Maybe I'll play anyways. Peace.
Peace.
Jay, you must say peace. That's required. All right, guys.
So no, we're not hanging up, right?
No. This is still live. This is still live, guys.
Yeah,
so we gotta keep the stream going. But
I'm gonna mute.
I can give everybody a virtual tour.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute. Turn off.
You guys want a virtual tour?
Yeah. So let me see if I can get Rock up on here. How to do this? One person, and then see if I can choose Rock. Oh, I just dropped Rock out of the stream.
Did you really?
Oh, it's okay.
No, he's still there.
No,
he's still there.
I'm here.
How do I get? I don't know how to get just Rock. Maybe
it's okay. If you gotta go to the bathroom, just
no. I know. Here, I'm gonna mute me. Talk Rock and see if it'll go to you.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna show you.
No, it's not. It's locked on you. Hang on, Rock. It's not moving over to your camera yet. It's still locked on his camera. Okay, try it again, Rock.
Can you guys see me?
I mean, yeah,
Hello?
it's not given a full screen. It's still
I don't know how
there
to.
should be a way to switch. There it is. There it is.
There we go. All right.
Oh, here we go. All right, guys. Who remembers going back in the day to Toys R Us where you'd see the 3 packs of comics? These are all second prints, but believe it or not, when they're bagged like this, they're so much more expensive. And this is another one of the oddball things I started collecting recently.
That's cool.
So, yeah, and so now whenever I go comic book shopping, if I see something that's a bagged comic book, I buy it. The ones from the 90s, their big thing was they threw in a trading card, because we all know how the trading cards became popular in the 90s. These are really some of my favorites because these are vintage Star Wars. These are Whitman, but they're Marvel comics. So you get the 3-pack. The other thing too is these bags are super brittle, so I have to be really careful.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be better to put them into those special, those other special bags that protect comics?
Well, you know what it is? I kind of rotate my stuff around because how I like that store appeal.
Right. That's true.
So
That's true.
I have this little this display box I have them in is from a dollar store where they sell like a little bundle of comics. So what I've been doing is, I keep them in this box. It keeps them upright, and then this way Smurfs. I can. Yeah, this is a really weird one I picked up. It was Ghost Stories. It was 3 for $1.39. I've never seen these comics before in my life. They're very, very odd. But sometimes you spend up hours on eBay, and you can find all kinds of stuff. But there's another Star Wars one which I find.
Peter just said he's like, this looks like a live auction. No, this is not for sale, guys.
And this is another one I found. I thought was cool. This is Black Hole.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
So that was something I was happy to get. So this was the now I have the mint on card. These are straight arms. That's Snake Eyes, a Breaker.
Man, they look so good in those cases, man. They just look so good.
I love these cases. The cases are like, that's what definitely makes them. The Cobra Soldier, which just kills me. I got a steal on. I got it for $100, but look at this.
Yeah. Why would they cut that out?
I don't know what happened because there's no flag point. I mean,
But why would they notch it? Why would they make that notch on the side?
I have no clue. That's why I got it for a song.
It's not torn.
No, it's
like
cut.
A notch.
It is cut. It is. Yeah. It's definitely cut. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but because of that condition, I mean, I got a $500 $500 figure for $100.
Nice.
So now I redid my display recently. So now I put my Star Wars, the key figures that are in the cases up here.
They look so awesome.
I have Boba Fett, the CGC. I mean, AFA, Boba Fett, and R2 are in my D12. But I like, I will tell you guys about the vintage. If it's repacked, so here's the big alien. Yeah. Always like that. The ATST, the vintage packaging. My Christmas gift. But this is this Lotus and guys who know about my project. It's blurry. All right,
it looks awesome. I love that look. I mean, I love the idea that you have the tags. Now, didn't you say that you were working with a guy who possibly is going to make some custom tags for you?
Well, no. What I'm working on is that this is what's called a shelf talker.
Oh.
I have a guy in Australia who makes these. I purchased. I'm waiting. It's going to take a little while to get here. But the idea is to take shelf talkers like that, and you slide them into right here.
Yep.
But they're not the right size. I need 2 of each just for that. So that's the idea. So, these are the autographed wrestling Hasbro figures, which it's something I'm really got into recently. But yeah, and you know what? Surprisingly, I was worried about the hang tabs on these old figures. They're actually fine.
Yeah. The stress.
I'm very shocked. I mean,
yeah.
I was kind of surprised. What did kill me was this Ninja Turtle was unpunched, and I had to punch the hole.
Oh man!
But I didn't fully remove the punch.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I didn't fully remove it, but I had to do that to a few figures. A little hint of what I got in this week. I had to do it to this figure too. This
Robin
Friar
Hood?
Tuck.
Yeah, Friar Tuck.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I got in this week, but this Friar Tuck, which is funny because for you Star Wars fans out here, this is the Gamorrean Guard figure
Oh wow.
with a different head and soft goods.
Oh wow. Is that a highly sought after figure? Like, is that expensive to get, or?
Oh,
I mean, you don't have to tell you don't have to
believe it
talk
or
about
not.
pricing, but I'm just.
Oh, I have no problem talking about price. I got Friar Tuck, and I'll show you right now. I said I got Friar Tuck and this Robin Hood, both of them mint on card, shipped for $21.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, these I gotta tell you, the Robin Hood figures, they're really nice. They are the most worthless figures out there next to Dick Tracy. They're by far the cheapest vintage figures you can find out there. If you want to collect something that's not I'll show you the back of the card. There's only 8 figures in the entire line.
And there's play sets, right?
Yeah, and the play sets most of them are reused. Sherwood Forest was the Endor play set.
Wow.
The Battle Wagon is a reused, the Ewok Battle Wagon. I'm not sure about the other two if they were Star Wars vehicles.
You would think that whole line would be sought after, especially with the Star Wars, connection.
You would think so, but that movie, I don't know if that movie bombed. It's got a good cast. It's got Alan Rickman is the Sheriff of Nottingham. You got Kevin Costner, which he was a huge star back then.
Yeah.
And it's an absolutely worthless movie line. This is another what I got in this week.
Oh yeah, mini traps.
The mini traps.
That's
the problem with these figures are they're heavy.
Uh-huh.
This is the most common issue. Is the glue's kind of crappy.
Okay.
So the weight of them when they ship, or they're drying out and whatnot. There's another sneak peek. You can do the visual. And this I bought. It was actually the guy who bought it, opened it up, transformed it. Yeah, I like this one. I actually transformed him. What a pain in the ass it was to retransform him back.
Yeah, man.
That's why
I don't know how far I don't know how far Hasbro's going to go with all these Transformer G1 reissues, but man, they look so nice. Like as you get more and more of them, just to have them on the shelf like that, it just looks phenomenal. Especially the purple, Decepticon purple, and then Autobot red. It just looks so awesome.
Well, that's what happened now. I'm looking at my display, and I said, wow, I only have Decepticons. So I bought from China. I'm waiting. I have, their KO reissues, but I have a Grimlock coming, a Blue Streak, a Jazz, and who else did I buy? I bought one more, but I have, let me think, Wheeljack, Blue Streak, Grimlock. I have to check my eBay. But I'm waiting to see. I mean, they what?
I was just gonna say, did they shut down China again? Like, are they shutting shipping down? I noticed some websites are saying that they're no longer they're stopping shipments again.
I don't know, because I have one of the items I bought was Blue Streak and Grimlock, and right now it's in Indiana, and I only bought it about a week ago.
Oh wow, okay.
So
all right.
They must be shipping again. For some reason, what I don't get is there's certain Transformers they never made a KO of. Like they don't KO Prowl. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But he's one you can't get. But I'm looking to try to get like the original. Oh, Hound. That's the other one I have coming. Yeah. Hound's pretty cool because I like the Army Jeep.
It's always a gamble though, right? As far as getting those KOs, because you don't know if the boxes are going to be dented or not, and that's what you're really buying. Is you want the box to be nice.
And what you really don't know is you have to look at all their feedback, because a lot of them they're selling stuff, but you don't know. I look at their feedback, and what I always do is I look to see the item I'm buying. Like if I'm buying G1 KO Hound, I look to see if anybody else has replied back, like, yes, I received it recently, good shape, because there's so many people selling the same items.
I've always wanted to get the KO Dinobot, the G1 Dinobot set, because they never actually made a reissue of that either. And I've seen reviews of that set, and it's actually a fairly nice set. But once again, you're buying it to basically keep them in the box to make it, look nice on the shelf.
Another thing I got on this week, my wife's like, "Why do you buy this Blockbuster merchandise?" I don't know.
That's
something
funny.
about this Blockbuster stuff. So like, this was something I thought was pretty cool. Like I put up, I'm gonna get like a little Blockbuster like plastic sign to put above here because it's like the little movie section. Little film cells and whatnot.
That's cool.
But yeah, I've been clearing out a lot of stuff recently on eBay, building up. I was gonna buy the Ghostbusters Firehouse, but now with the financial uncertainty right now in the world, I kind of put off any big purchases. But I didn't mind spending, $40 on Transformers.
I mean, that's something that we never really talked about. But do you think that if the retro line sells well, do you think that they'll do a reissue of the Firehouse?
I would hope so. I mean, it's a really nice line, and what I'm kind of surprised is how much it's selling for. It already has high secondary pricing on eBay for people that missed out, and then recently they had it came back up on Walmart. They had another chance to buy them again.
Yeah.
So you got some of these.
Yeah, Peter just chimed in the chat. Peter was saying that his Zeta Toys Giants they were shipped on March 3rd, and he's still waiting. So, and yeah, Baba Bobo is is my favorite seller as well to buy stuff in China, and yeah, I mean he's definitely legit. So if they're having logistic issues with shipping, it's probably affecting everyone.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know there's different kinds of shipping from there. There's Speed Pack, and there's some
that
other
Speed
way.
Pack is super slow. That thing is worse. I mean, EMS is really the only way to go. But if you're buying something of a certain size, I think they have to ship EMS. I don't think they can actually ship it the slow boat, Speed Pack. But yeah, Speed Pack is the wrong name for that service because it's the slowest. It's the slowest service you can possibly imagine.
Yeah,
because actually
still do big things, Sal.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
Yeah, so Sal can take the 4 to 6 weeks.
Brock, you had something there with A-Team on it. I just curious what that was.
Okay. That is the vintage trading cards.
Yeah, these cards are cool. I mean, I remember like the Batman.
Yeah,
we have a vintage toy store here where it's all about toys, but they probably have 70 different boxes of wax packs you can buy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and for reasonable prices. And then when you buy something from the store, you get a vintage trading card and a pixie stick. Like that's their stick.
Interesting.
Hey, Rock. If you turn your iPad the other direction, does it do widescreen or does it? Because right now you're holding it vertically, right?
Yeah, I just did it sideways, but the picture went.
So
it's. Oh, my thumb's blocking. My thumb's blocking.
Yeah, see, there you go. Now you get widescreen. That looks much better because we can see better now. But
yeah, maybe
I can get my fat finger out of the way.
It might be a little conducive.
Well, it sounds like the host is back. So let's not.
All right, let's
show
talk
everything.
some more toys.
Yeah, let's not show everything because you've got literally a toy store, and we'll have to ration these videos because it's really been fun looking at your toy store there, Rock.
Thanks, Lotus. I appreciate that.
I might actually watch/listen to part of this episode because I missed your tour.
He's got so much. It's so cool. I mean, it's literally like a toy store.
That's dope.
All right, so let's
let me get this back here. I need to share my screen. Share. All right. Cool. Store report Target exclusive 2-packs. I don't even remember 2-packs of what. Oh, of the Earthrise. I think this is a smart way to do it for the Jets, especially.
Right.
Put out Skywarp and Thundercracker as an exclusive 2-pack.
Yeah, that way you don't have to, because I think it was Skywarp that the prices are going crazy on him because there really wasn't a whole lot for distribution.
Yeah, well, he was Amazon exclusive.
Is that what it was? Okay,
He
because
was
I never seen it in store at all.
a
I saw Thundercracker many times, but
exclusive that came with 2 Battle Masters.
oh, okay.
So
The only thing is we didn't we get Pounce and Wingspan and what was the other Cloudbreaker and
it was super difficult to get, and I kind of
Walgreens.
so Walgreens did Autobot and Decepticon, one of each.
Oh yeah, that was so stupid.
And then the gift packs is where they released the other 2. I didn't give a shit about anything else in those multi-packs that were $100+, but I still bought them because I'm a clone fanatic. So I bought them and I sold off all the extra figures. I made all my money back, so that was kind of nice. It didn't cost me anything to get them, but it was a pain in the ass to sell off the extra figures. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm glad that people that are clone fans can now get that extra 2-pack, and then I'm a Seeker fan, so the Jet 2-pack is a kind of a no-brainer for me. Depending on what the box looks like, I might get the clones just to keep them in the box,
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, new Walmart listings came up showing Megatron and Soundwave. And it says it's a Transformer Gen G1 Red Soundwave and a Transformer Gen G1 Red Megatron.
Yeah.
Which, some people are saying maybe the Red Soundwave is going to be Blaster. The Red Megatron, they've done this before with the old Classics mold. They re-released that weird, like, Nerf gun Megatron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a red color. So if they recolored the Walter,
we're not going to get, I don't care if they recolor, we're not going to get a pistol,
look like a super realistic gun, So
yeah.
If you're looking for a G1 Megatron, the Hobby Link exclusive, or just some of the Japanese reissues are probably your only choice there, unless you're going to go full on G1.
Yeah, I've got the Dreamwave reissued G1 Megatron. I'm very happy with that.
Is that the one that was like full G1 packaging, or was that...
No, it's the basically Dreamwave Comics. They made the Takara. It's like a book. They call it the book style, where it's a comic drawing, Dreamwave comic drawing of Megatron on the front, and then it opens up and it has a booklet that you can detach, and the idea is you'd put the booklet in a 3-ring binder, and it has all the specs and has a comic along with it, and you open up the box and it's the toy is there, and they're all numbered and everything. I've never actually shown that collection. I need to do a video on that collection.
Yeah, I'd be curious. No spoilers. Well, I guess it is a spoiler. Do you have them all like spine facing?
No, actually, honestly, I have opened them all up. I actually have them all on display. So I originally did have them spine facing, all numbered, and then just on a Billy bookshelf. And then I had it where I used 2 Billy bookshelves. Before I got the G.I. Joes, I actually had those Billy bookshelves set up where I had all of the number 0, which was Optimus Prime, all the way through 21. I don't know if 21 was Blaster or not, but I can't remember who was 21. But it was 0 through 21 was the set. And they were all, like I said, they're all made by Takara. And Dreamwave was the collaboration effort, and they did all of the artwork for the packaging. And it's really a very impressive. It's very thick cardboard, very nice window. When you open up, when you open it up, they all have Velcro on them. So you open them up, and then they have a very nice presentation. But yeah, I removed them all and put them all on display. I've got all the Autobots on one shelf and the Decepticons in another shelf. And I just love seeing minty just to have a minty G1 collection just looks phenomenal under lighting inside of a cabinet.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that book series too is that little book that comes with all the extra information. It has like character models. Those are all, they all have holes punched in them, so you can get a binder to put all of the books.
No, you don't
together.
have to get a binder. Actually, 00 is Optimus Prime, and he comes with the binder. So I have everything.
Shit.
I have a complete.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he actually 00 Optimus Prime comes with the binder, and the idea is you would start your collection off with 00, and you would just start, tearing those out and put them in the binder. So yeah, I've got the. Now I've never actually. I couldn't do it. I couldn't tear everything out and put in the binder, but I do have all that. But yeah, I need to do a video on that.
All right. Let's see. Oh, too far. Next up online, new TVC figures at Walmart. So this is the Commander Wolf and the K2SO. They were still available as of yesterday. That's when I pre-ordered them. Still $13. Pulse had put all their new TVC up at $13.99. We haven't seen that price hike translate to retailers yet. So these are still $12.99. So.
Hey, Lotus, on your walkthrough today, how are the toy aisles? I mean, we saw what you posted pics of, but how was like the action figures and like Transformers and like wrestling figures, stuff like that?
I mean, yeah. So there wasn't anything new that I saw besides those alien slime things, and then there was
those were pretty cool.
So I think that was from the same company that does the Mega Constructs.
Yeah,
possibly they were like alien slime eggs, and then I saw those Marvel Venom slime things or something. I don't know, but yeah, the toys. I didn't see any new Star Wars figures. There was only like a couple figures on the shelf. Same Transformers have been there. Grapple stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of like new stock being put out, but I don't know. It's just it wasn't like all pick through or anything. It was actually very nicely organized, and I don't know, just nothing new.
Yeah, I was
except
curious
for the stuff I showed.
I haven't been to a big Spock store in weeks, so I was kind of curious to see what it looked like out there.
Yeah,
you make the wife do all the shopping, Rock.
Well, you know what it is. She's been taking time off from work because of they have 8 people in one bank branch, so they really don't need that many people. So people have been volunteering to take days off during the week. So that, and between everything happened with her mom, she took off a couple of days this week, and she made the supply run.
Nice. Yeah, and
I'm avoiding the stores.
I have hit much less than I normally do, but I've been hitting a big box store at least once a week still. And been really well stocked. I've seen the new Earthrise everywhere. I've seen the new Studio Series everywhere. No new Star Wars anywhere, Target or Walmart. Doesn't help that my Target is essentially eliminated the Star Wars section. It's amazing. There's 3 pegs. And
wow.
And one of those pegs is lightsabers, role play lightsabers, and that's it. So
we need to.
I haven't been to one. Oh gosh, I haven't been to Walmart, Target, anything in like almost 6 weeks.
Wow. And normally you said you don't collect vintage Star Wars. You do modern. Are you kind of all in on modern? Do you cherry pick your modern?
Right now, it's mostly Transformers, but I haven't even been to see any of the Earthrise stuff. So,
no.
It's been that long. It's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
Peter wants to know: do you open them?
Open. I open most. I mean, all my Transformers are meant to be open. There's very few Transformers stuff I keep in box, but it takes a while. But I think maybe he was probably asking Jay if Jay opens.
Yeah, meant for Jay. Jay Peter wants to know: are you opening your stuff?
Yes. Yeah, I open everything. Open your toys.
Hell yeah!
No.
So just wanted to mention this. So Slick, your mic has been rubbing against your.
Has it?
Yeah. So
sorry.
for all the audio listeners, unfortunately, that's just the microphone's being too sensitive and it's causing.
He's pulling a rock.
It's pulling a rock. It's definitely picking up the stubble this time. So I apologize to all the audio listeners listening to the podcast. That could be a little annoying in your ear, but we'll try to do better next time. But you sound good. You definitely sound good. Your audio sounds great, but it's just
moving against my shirt or my stubble.
Yeah, we're picking that up, and it's so.
Okay.
I know.
We're gonna need to shave before we podcast.
Everyone's got it. That's a new rule. Everyone has to shave, or just use or we'll have to get wireless sets for everyone.
Yeah.
I had a full beard before I went back to back into law enforcement, and I was like, man, I gotta shave again. It sucks.
I was going to ask that. I was surprised that you even were able to have a full goatee and everything. So,
well, they actually
can't
said
have a beard.
Yeah, you can't have a beard, but you can have a goatee. Then I'm supposed to keep it trimmed a little more, but they're a little lenient because I put it in. I worked there for about 3 years there, and then worked 5 years at the Troopers, and as soon as I left law out, like just all over the place.
You guys remember?
You look more like Big Boss Man that way.
I told them. I was like, this is what we all need.
Do you guys remember in Police Academy? I don't know if it was I think it was the first Police Academy movie where those two dudes they went in there and to get their hair cut and they just had they shaved everything off and they come out and the sergeant's like this is not the military, like you can have hair.
Yeah, the Latin lover dude goes in and he's like, can you just take a little bit off the side and a little bit off the top?
There's a toy line needs to come back.
Police Academy.
Yeah,
isn't that that's like a favorite of Duvall's, right? Doesn't Duvall he has the play set, and I guess that's like an ongoing joke there. That's super hard to get, and
yeah,
it's another one of those toy lines where most of the figures are inexpensive. There's only a few that are a lot of money, and the big argument is that people say that the Police Academy police house is molded after the Ghostbusters firehouse, and it's not. It's a different mold. That's a big argument in the community.
Well, Duvall says it's really hard to get the a complete Police Academy. I guess he's finally completed his. So I know he talked about it on one of his shows.
Well, and it's just like the cops, right? He chimed in on that cop saying, yeah, you can get. And I think that was a post from Rock, I think, that said cops are pretty easy to get, except for like that last wave that hit,
Well, I don't know.
It's like
Jeremy,
There's a bunch of toy lines.
I don't know. Jeremy is he completed all of the sealed, so he has a full set of sealed cops, and then he has just started doing the loose ones.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying it's actually getting kind of tough to get loose ones.
Interesting. Oh yeah, because it was Jeremy that posted because he was saying it's so easy to get carded ones.
I mean, I'm sure he's. I mean, I don't know if we want to even say easy because he's not paying $10 a piece. He's paying some considerable amount of money, to get those.
Yeah. Good old, and I think those are Kenner. That good old Kenner thing.
I just love that they had the cap. They actually used caps. The cop figures, they actually used caps to firing mechanisms. I thought that was awesome.
Fuck yeah, that and RoboCop, that vintage RoboCop line, cap figures. Let's see. first Seacons back in stock on Hasbro Pulse. I am, these sold out so quickly and all that kind of stuff. I had non-buyer's remorse. And so I dived in and I was like, okay, well, the first couple are back available again. Well, there's still 2 that are sold out that are unavailable. So this doesn't do much good, but I'm still expecting there to be a box set of these at some point as some kind of
I agree.
exclusive. Again, we're talking about a $215 Combiners War.
Yep.
Good fucking set. It's just too pricey, but I have like that FOMO. Like I have every other Combiners War figure, well, except for Predaking, because I thought that was going to clearance and never did, but if you're interested, if you have the other 4 and just needed the other 2, they're back in stock. I thought this was really cool well, actually, it's live, so this will be out right now. The Boss Fight Studio is announcing an online customizing class starting on Tuesday, April 14th. So probably not enough time to get your parts that you need, but it says everything will be recorded if you miss anything. So you can probably still sign up for this. This is an amazing idea. Customizing classes at TFCon, BotCon, JoeCon, all those. It's sold out. Oh, well, everybody missed it. Sorry. It was $70 to get the parts that you needed. Now, again, this was just the parts. You had to have your own paints and brushes and all that kind of stuff. But it's a complete surprise. No one knew what it was. I think if I knew what it was, I would have been more inclined to get it. But very cool. An hour and a half online video. You can ask questions, all that kind of stuff. And a really cool concept for what we're going through right now. I think if I was just bored sitting at home, it would have been a no-brainer, but the coronavirus has actually been the impetus for us to get shit tons of stuff done at the house. So not a lot of time for a customizing class, unfortunately. Online, Make Toys is back, featuring a premium downbeat. So probably one of their most celebrated MP third-party figures, now with a premium paint job on it.
All they did is they just added the race team logo, on it. That's really all they really did. I mean, there's not a whole lot different. It just seems like a cash grab, because Make Toys is kind of out of the game at this point, right? They're not really doing anything anymore, are they?
Yeah, they were. And this is kind of like their, hey, we're back kind of thing. Like, hey, everything we've announced is coming out, all this kind of stuff. So
I mean, their website and stuff is shut down. Like they're not. Maybe remember how they had that website?
Yeah,
that's not there anymore.
So I don't know. I've been kind of on a jazz kick. T2RX6 is a huge jazz fan,
But he doesn't like this figure because of the rear end. He says it's not the rear end is not representative of the way the Porsche should actually look.
Yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, I bought into this. I did the pre-order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, and I think it's the stupid limited edition that kind of got me sucked into it, and this special, extra seal or sticker, that we're gonna get. But
did you get a good price on it, or did you just do a normal thing?
I just did TF. No, I just did TF source.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even think about trying to try international sellers or anything. All right. let's see. Pulse Fan Celebration pre-order. So this is kind of what we already covered this. These show notes have been done kind of in a progression of weeks, but this is talking about the Entertainment Earth pre-orders for the Carbonized Stormtrooper, the Wolf. But you can see here we're talking about the $13.99 price point here. Carbonized coming in at $24.99. Those were the retail for carbonized figures. Classified Destro went up for pre-order finally. This was something we talked about a long time ago that was confirmed in our as part of that Wave 1 case, but they didn't put them up for pre-order, which is really weird because my wholesale account, I bought a Wave 1 case, and that includes Destro. It was Destro, Roadblock, Duke, Scarlet, and 2 Snake Eyes. That was the breakdown of my Wave 1 cases.
So that's a different, and okay, so the Snake Eyes that everyone was showing off with the special box, that's just something special, right? That's not how they're all packaged.
Exactly. That was originally thought to be a convention exclusive. Even the boxes coming from Japan or coming from China said convention exclusive on them. So I don't know if they just had a ton of forethought and were like, conventions are going to be canceled, so we'll just release this, or what. But yeah, it's going to be the same Snake Eyes, just without the whole weapons rack and all the 100 extra weapons.
Have you been following how people have been? I mean, do they like the Snake Eyes figure? Or are they? Is it being recepted, correctly now? I mean, how's the reception on having this, in a 6-inch scale, versus the 3 3/4? Is it?
People are loving the Snake Eyes because it's, until this Destro, it was the closest to the vintage representation. Now, in my opinion, this Destro is now the closest to its vintage, incarnation. But yeah, people are loving the Snake Eyes. They're still complaining about that Scarlet, Duke, and Roadblock aren't close enough. But I mean,
I think a lot of it had to do with the card art. If you look at the card art for Duke, and I think the Roadblock came with the laser blasting. It was some sort of futuristic.
The rail gun that he was coming with.
It looks like Peter is all in on this. He wants this Destro, and so he's Snake Eyes and Destro, he says, is his favorite. Hey, 46 and 2. I'm not too sure who that is, but they just joined.
Yeah. Welcome.
Well, that Snake Eyes figure, that Snake Eyes exclusive figure has been selling for like over $100 on eBay.
Really? How now? And what was the retail?
Yeah.
What's the retail?
40.
50.
40?
No, 40.
Oh, it was 40.
Yeah, it was 40.
Yeah, I've seen it $89 to $100 on eBay.
Wow.
And
are those sold auctions?
That's what the going price was.
Oh,
I'll check
Lotus
the sold now, but I'm going to check the sold now. But I could tell you when I went looking just out of curiosity, and that's what it was going for. Oh, let me see. Just bear with me 1 minute. You guys can talk, and I'll look.
They have several auctions where they have, you can buy the hands, the weapons, the rack separately. People are buying those up too. The same figure. Exact same figure, just comes with extra hands and weapons.
Yeah.
I like the.
I'm
the briefcase.
I'm really wrong. It's selling for $119 right now.
Wow.
Jesus.
Sold 119, sold 109, sold 107, sold 138.
Okay.
Well,
and
because the cool thing about it, and this is why I haven't cracked it open, just because I have the regular Wave 1 case coming, is the box. It comes in a boxed sealed box as well, but it's all like a traditional Black series. It's all black and gray art, whereas we're assuming, we haven't seen the Wave 1 box for the Snake Eyes yet, but we assume it's going to be all colored and that kind of stuff, you know. So that's why I'm not touching that. I opened it up to be able to open the case and all, you know, it's got a super heavy duty, almost like what you described, the Gigapower stuff coming in Lotus, like a super heavy duty slide open box with foam and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Lotus. The case for Destro looks amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome accessory.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I mean, I even like his gun. Wasn't his gun like a gold chrome though? Wasn't it like a vac metal?
No, it was black in the toy. And this is where it's departing slightly. It's similar to the vintage, but still modernized. But again, much closer than like Scarlet or Duke or Roadblock at this point. So, all right. Let's see here. Heavy Infantry Mando available again. So this got me. After rewatching The Mandalorian, I was like, fuck, I wish I would have gotten that heavy Mandalorian. And so I paid the $5. Didn't get it on BB, or didn't get it from Best Buy at retail. BBTS is selling it for $35, but you can get it from Entertainment Earth or Megalopolis Toys for the $30 retail still.
I loved that scene. I loved when they came in and they helped him out. I thought that was great.
I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention, because I agree, on the rewatch I was like, oh my god, okay, I want all the Mandalorians from that scene now, let alone this Heavy Infantry one. Do you do did we lose? Oh, we lost Jay. He's waiting to get let back in here. Hey Jay, sorry.
No,
I was going to ask, do you do Black Series, Jay, or are you primarily 3 3/4 guy?
3 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah, just for room's sake.
I feel you.
Yeah, I've severely ran out of room. In fact, I hate to say this, I actually sold off all of my G.I. Joe stuff.
Oh wow! Oh.
Yeah, 3-4 months ago, just to make room for Transformer stuff. It's like, you know, we all go through these phases, you know, or
blasphemy.
Or like, yeah. Well, I mean, we go through these phases. Oh, I'm really into this right now, and then it tapers off, and then you're like, oh wow, there's this now, you know. So I try to, as far as, you know, not being a millionaire, I try to keep it so I don't have to collect everything.
Kick him off the show. Kick him off the show. He's not a millionaire. We're all millionaires.
This is for millionaires only.
Millionaires Club here.
Can't you tell as Rock and I hold our headsets away from our stubble? We've got the best equipment in the world available.
Call your maid and have them shave your beard.
Sorry that my manservant Bentley hasn't shaved me yet with the straight razor.
Oh man! All right.
The answer to your question is yes. I would collect everything if I could, but you know, I think that's the point that makes collecting is the fact that you pick up pieces that mean something to you. You know?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well,
several toys that, like for instance, I don't have the. I've just got Hawkeye and Pierce in one of the Jeeps. You know, it's enough to me to where I can look in my cabinet and say, hey, you know, that's something I identify with, that particular. You know, I don't need the entire line. You know.
So
Yeah,
they
small representation. Exactly.
made a Jeep
Yeah.
for MASH.
Yeah, they have a Jeep. It's a ambulance Jeep.
Oh shit! I may
Yeah,
have to.
I'll have to show
may
it
have
to you.
get that.
I'm sure you don't want
The
to.
best, you got to see the MASH base. The MASH
Huh?
base is insane. I had it as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I watched. I believe he has it was a collectible spectacle where he would show certain toys. It was a YouTube. It's on YouTube. There's a couple of them. There's Air Devon, who was a super collector of G.I. Joe stuff. And then Mark Balamo, who wrote the G.I. Joe collector's books.
Mm-hmm.
And you could actually, he actually busts it out and shows you the mat and everything. It even comes with the martini glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, that place, that's insane. I had it as a kid. It was huge. It had a lot of great little accessories, little wood crates, little fuel barrels. There was so many things to decorate and make it a base. Oh, it was great.
It even had the sign that would, the sign from the show. Yeah, showing you which direction was, I think it had like California on it, and
there was like 10 different ones with all the mileage and pointing. Did they ever make a Klinger and dress for it?
I don't think so.
That's the most expensive figure in the line.
Is the Klinger and dress?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm almost positive that's the most expensive figure in the line. It's a very limited line of figures. There's maybe 8 in the whole run.
Yeah.
I definitely
I
had
who made them. Let's say it was Ertl.
Well, here.
I'll go
let's
check.
take a look. This is the great thing about having.
I would say
Ertl.
Ertl sounds about right. I think Ertl did a lot of military vehicles back in the day.
They also made some fantastic Star Trek figures, which I've into collecting as well.
Oh, these are the same as that. Oh, yeah, they definitely are, aren't they? Yeah, they're
fantastic. Except for you cannot replace the rubber bands in them when they break. You have to break the figures apart.
Oh, here is the fucking Klinger in a dress. Well, in like a pantsuit kind of thing.
That is so hot.
I'm surprised Reaction. Aren't they the ones that do?
That does all the like nostalgic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ertl?
It says TriStar. I don't know who this is. TriStar International.
Yeah, let me check something. I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay.
I'm actually looking at the Klinger and the dress.
Oh,
figure.
yeah, it says here, MASH, TriStar.
It's got 9 bids, $41 with 7 days and 5 hours left.
Oh, here we go. We can see the Jeep. Oh, they made a regular Jeep and an ambulance.
Yeah, engineers.
Yeah, 7 figures
John
in the entire line.
Yeah, John says there's 2 Klingers, one in a dress and one in a uniform. So there's actually 2 variants of Klinger.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a Huey helicopter there.
Yeah. Yeah, from that opening. Dude, that opening scene. Oh,
which figure is that, Jay?
I've got the Hawkeye and Pierce figures.
Oh, okay.
Here, let me hold on, Jay.
Those look small. Those aren't 3 3/4 though, right? Those are small.
They are. They're 3 3/4.
Okay.
I need to learn how to do this. Let me try to zoom in on you. Give me 1 second here. Can I? No, I don't want to kick you from the studio.
Oh, go ahead.
How did I do that? How did I turn you on? Oh, here we go. Solo layout. There we go. All right, let's see those a little closer, Jay.
All right. So don't mind my fingernails. Let's see here.
We watch
those
Bobby
joints look
Skullface.
stiff too.
Yeah, they're not bad. He's a little bit loose, like I said. Only
you
because
said you can't replace the O-rings.
I was gonna say don't mess with the O-ring too much. We don't want it to be a break line.
Yeah, and in fact, I believe these are the precursor to. There's no swivel arm, but they have, the straight arm for the G.I. Joe.
Well, that's what they did. Was that company made Buck Rogers figures, and they took
Mego.
What? Oh, was Mego who made Buck Rogers?
Mego did the black hole.
Oh,
Mego did the black hole, and they did.
Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's cool.
Well, and they say these are just interesting because they took the Tiger Man from the Buck Rogers line of Mego. That's what they used, and they put like clay around it to demo what G.I. Joe could look like as a 3 3/4 figure. Like that I heard from that G.I. Joe marketing guy at one of the Joe Cons. Because I literally bought that Buck Rogers figure since it was like the impetus, the prototype for G.I. Joe.
The back door.
And
You don't have to open the back doors, but they open too, right?
No, I've got them. They do open up. I can't get them.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to bust them.
But that's cool. And that's all plastic, or
it is. It's very light plastic, actually. It's solid, one solid piece. It looks like. I don't think the hood opens, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the Chips figures were also made by the same company.
Yeah, I was going to say the Chips, Black Hole, those all kind of look the same. I thought they might be all the same company, but
so what's the year? What's the copyright on that? Is that like a 1970 kind of a thing, or?
Let me get there.
No, I mean Chips was 79,
and it was made by TriStar.
Oh, so it is TriStar.
Fox Film Corp.
It says 82 on eBay on the packages. But yeah, you can get some of these figures mint on cart for $14.95.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Pretty reasonable.
What about the clinger in the dress?
That's the most expensive figure. It's I told you it's $41 with 7 days left.
Well, shoot, I'm gonna start buying more of these then. I didn't realize I traded.
Yeah, it's clinger
trading. So
clinger, $25. Buy it now, free shipping.
Sealed or loose?
Yeah, mint on card, not in drag.
Oh, the uniform version. Yeah.
But like I said,
even the vehicles, $125 for the Jeep, and the Jeep comes with Hawkeye.
Which Hawkeye does it come with? I'm curious. Is there more than one version?
It's hard to tell. The guy's picture is kind of crummy, but he's wearing BDUs, green BDUs.
Let's see if we can get.
Yeah, engineer.
This is Hockey's, so this should, or Hawks or whatever. This should be a pretty good scan.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Open image, new tab.
Yeah, John's saying that TriStar could be like the production company or something.
There's a guy with a case of 9 of those Jeeps on here. Wow.
All
9 mint in box Jeeps.
Okay, enough of the mash. Let's put the mash
away.
Buy it now.
Keeping it retro. Reaction's new Transformers are up for pre-order, so we get to see them in all their card art beauty. Again, way overpriced action figures, but again, if you want it, if you're a jazz collector and you're just buying one, who cares, right? I'm a Prime collector. I have the Prime carded, and I bought the Soundwave, and it's loose. But again, I only paid $11, not 18. So, a thing to watch is Hot Topic runs promotions all the time, and they're one of the larger stores that carries reaction figures. So they'll have them $18 MSRP on the site, but you can get lots of deals through joining their club and all that kind of stuff, their loyalty program. So if you are interested in reaction stuff, take a look at Hot Topic. Stormtrooper Commander, which had been rumored on the last couple of shows, that went live for pre-order on GameStop. Let's see if it's still available as we record here. Dun, dun. My internet's moving slowly because I'm probably streaming video.
Because your beard's streaming video.
Oh, is it still scratching? I dropped it back down. Okay, still available for pre-order. So if you're a Forced Unleashed person or just like 501st, again, this was a 501st.
I like the
figure.
colors. I like the colors on that one.
Yeah, the blue and the white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, still available for pre-order right now. Oh, if you order 2 of them, and that's actually what I did. I forgot. I ordered 2 of them and then stacked my cart to get this 20% off, $50. What I got to get to that $50 sale is I got a Zori Bliss little head knocker thing here. So
What the heck? It's a bobblehead.
Yeah,
what
because
character is it? Who is it?
Zori Bliss. This is the not Noxzema girl. She was in Felicity. She's actually from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, here near us, one of our little suburbs.
Oh.
And people think that the character was made just because she's friends with the director, and the director J.J. Abrams wanted to get a role for her in the movies. But she's dope. I mean, her look is dope. She's got, the cool ass helmet. She's got double blasters. I have the vintage collection version. I have the Black Series version of her. So why not have the little mini bobblehead version too? All right.
We got a question in the live comments too. From it says, besides toy collecting, what other collecting do all of you guys do? It would come second most. Collecting stuff compares to your toy collection.
Oh, well, so how about we do this? Thank you, AAA, for that. We'll have that as a addendum to our listener feedback and questions because we're so close to it. Let's do what we got, and then we'll come back to that because that's a great question. Lotus, what you got? You got some more hydraulics and air pumps and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, just like I said, I'm just doing a refurbishment of some animatronic robots. So if you're into animatronics and you want to look at the robots that I bought, you can head over to my channel and take a look. I'm just basically, they're robots that were from a place called Showbiz Pizza Place.
I was going to say, don't bury the lead. You're doing Showbiz Pizza. That's what people get excited about.
Yeah. So Showbiz Pizza, which would before Chuck E. Cheese was Showbiz Pizza. And so Showbiz Pizza Place, they ended up having some financial difficulties, and Chuck E. Cheese ended up buying them all out. And then a lot of the Chuck E. Cheese characters, the animatronic robots, were actually just reskinned as, as the Chuck E. Cheese characters. But yeah, so I'm basically, taking these robots and refurbishing them, getting them back to functioning robots again, and having a lot of fun doing it. So if you're into that kind of thing, you're welcome to join me over there.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get the parts for these things?
Yeah, these are so the inventor is actually still around, but yeah, it is hard to find parts. The good thing is it's all pneumatics, and pneumatics are used as of today still in automation. So this is all industrial stuff. So these parts are industrial pneumatic cylinders, pneumatic valve banks, everything that is used in automation today. So,
Gotcha.
a lot of the parts are hard to get, like as far as cosmetics and stuff like that. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of parts that can be just, get normally. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, if people don't know, Lotus is probably the most technically inclined person I've ever met in my life, and Mrs. McFavorite's dad has been doing handyman work for 40 years, and Lotus just blows me away. The fact that you work on such a a new model car all the time. You do all your own work. Basically, anything that goes wrong or needs to be updated in Lotus's house, he does all by himself. Like, it's baller. So that, watching your videos, I really saw the kind of combining of your love for nostalgia, your love for mechanics, and your love for collecting. Because yeah, I mean, there's some parts that are you can just buy at Home Depot, but there's some stuff you're probably going to be searching for years for, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I thought that was really dope. All right, Rock, what about you? Any new pickups this week, or it's actually been 3 weeks now?
Yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera since when you were on break before, I kind of showed the guys on the video to keep it going. But I'm really just completely in love right now with G1 Transformers. So I got this reissue Cyclonus, and I guess due to peer pressure from Peter, I actually opened him and transformed him. And once I transformed him, I had a hell of a time getting him back into his regular position. And then I finally got him back in the box. But I got that, and then I got, of all things, the most worthless toy line that ever was. I showed it before. I got in some Robin Hood mint on card figures, and I even had to. This one was unpunched, and I popped the punch to put it on my display.
Boo!
Yeah, Peter said that's a no. Peter said it's an instant 20% loss for doing that. He was booing that when you said that before.
And I got this Robin Hood figure as well, which they were dirt cheap. I think I paid, it was like $21 shipped for both of them, which to me is like that's absolutely nothing for two figures from the 90s. And I'm not sure if I showed this last time we recorded, but I got some mini traps in.
And very cool.
I believe that's it. Next recording, I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff coming in, so just waiting for it to come from China.
He's gonna have a straight arm clinger.
yeah, that's a. I didn't finish I added it to cart, but I didn't do the checkout yet. But that's all that I got for. Oh, you know what? I'll wait till kind of like what we got in. But when Peter was asking if there's anything else we collect, I got in a bunch of DVDs, my Blockbuster DVDs, that for some reason I'm obsessed with buying. If they're, if it was a Blockbuster DVD, it was a rental, I buy them.
That's it. Oh, nice. A Fanboys one.
Yeah,
that's dope.
And this one was a Hollywood video, which is even harder to find.
Oh, I could imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I collect horror movies and Kevin Smith movies. It has to be a certain genre, but yeah, I've been buying Blockbuster stuff. And this was the other thing I showed people before. I got in a Blockbuster video gift card. It was a $15 gift card that I got for $2 shipped. So that's what I got in.
Nice. How about you, Jay? You picked up anything recently?
No, I haven't been out to the stores in, like I said, 6 weeks. But I did pick up some ammo for my shotgun.
Well, let's put the camera back on Jay and show off the ammo.
I was gonna say.
I'm walking away, but
I was gonna say, hopefully it's in a safe or a cabinet at least.
Well, the family, everybody knows how to use it, so, and I can shoot right in my backyard. So.
Oh, nice.
But other than that, no, I haven't gotten anything. I did want to show off though. I was talking about earlier the Star Trek figures.
Oh,
those are nice.
Yeah, these the plastic's a little bit different than the MASH figures. You can see they didn't make very many, and I'm gonna try and get all of them mint on card. This was actually a gift from somebody, so and it's unpunched. You can see.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen that packaging before. You know, you see the motion picture, the original motion picture ones all the time. I don't think I've ever seen that Star Trek 3 one.
Me neither.
It's
and that's 3 3/4, right?
It is, and I believe it is straight arm only. There's no swivel. I couldn't tell them up or not. But the paint apps are way better than the MASH figures from what I can tell. I mean, look at I don't know if you can see the logo. It's very chromy still.
Yeah, you're a little pixelated right now, so everything's a little blurry. But
as you can see, you can probably see my tattoos. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Dreadnought.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Again, you're a little bit blurry, but I can make out the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So.
Other than that, though, I really look forward to all this crap being over so I can start getting some more stuff and going shopping.
And do you primarily do retail, not a lot of online or eBay stuff right now?
Oh, no, I do eBay a lot. And I also do a lot of trading. There's a lot of good sites on Facebook for trading. I've got a couple trades going on that I need to get for some Transformers, but I also do. That's all we got down here, sadly. And a Target, but that's it's in a city over, so you got to go across the river, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So.
Yeah, Engineer Nerd is saying that he's never seen those Star Trek figures. He thought originally when he saw those, when you showed him, that they were from Tonka, but no, they're they say Ertl on the upper left hand corner, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and I'd like to get all of them. It's funny too because they're laid out like the G.I. Joe figures with the bubble, and the weapon is in a separate bubble.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know if they come with different weapons or not. I haven't really looked into it too much, but they've got some from each movie because I have the one Spock that's loose from the original Star Trek movie. So I'd like to get all of them. Nice.
Well, I can tell you, Captain Kirk's the hard one to find. I'm on eBay looking at him right now, and yeah, he's a tough one.
From Search for Spock specifically, or the
Yeah, I'm looking at the bubble. Like, I only see one Kirk here. Somebody looked like they re-glued it, but
it's funny. The reason I like Star Trek so much is if anybody remembers the first movie they ever saw in a movie theater. My first movie was actually with Robin Williams, and then my second movie was Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan. So I think it's my parents' fault. So, and I remember it vividly. So, and I'm also the only person on the screen right now.
We're talking about what you got. All right. Okay. So for me, again, I've been kind of going a little bit crazier than I should have. Oh, for some reason, I'm opening Illustrator instead of my here. And actually, because I can show this off, I'm going to see how easy it is to quick share a second screen here. Oh, shit. Let me do it this way. Sorry, everybody. Kind of learning this, but I've always wanted to kind of share this with people so they can kind of see how I do my thing as far. Oh, now my computer is just like freaking out because I'm trying to do something different here. Sorry, everybody. Weird dead air here.
John says Star Trek the motion picture were all made by Mego.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, let me go. I'm gonna double check that. I'm gonna go look at the figure.
He's gonna call you out, Mr. Engineer Nerd. He's calling you out, man. He's got this stuff in hand.
I got a mint on card right here. They're Mego, and they're 5 points of articulation, no accessories. And the bad guys were only released in Europe. The bad guys are worth a lot of money.
All right,
Or should I say bad guys, aliens.
let me see if I can bump this up here in my size. No,
Well,
here
now
maybe.
now we're doing. This is the show where math comes into play and spreadsheets and.
So
analytics.
here's my toy tracking. So this is how I track all of my purchases. Okay, so you'll notice here we got date, retailer, description, price, tax, shipping, discount, total for toy. You'll notice up here, this is I give myself $200 a month. Here's my balance for March. I'm negative 400.
Oh my goodness! Well, that's not working out for you.
Average per toy, average per day. In March, I spent $22 a day on toys. Goodness. Yeah. Again, I went a little bit crazy. Again, my grandfather died, left me a little bit of money, so I went a little nutso here. But so what we got? Where did I leave this off? I think of this Megalopolis. Cosmic Ghost Rider, animated GL. These are things I bought to return to the store. Yes, very naughty of me, but supporting small business instead of big box. SH Figure Arts Blanca. That's my first modern SH Figure Arts that I've gotten, and I absolutely love them, especially at $50. Again, maybe not at $80.
That's the one that's right next to you, right? Because I saw him in the one shot. He was right there.
Oh, yeah,
he was like reaching out for you.
He's drinking a Coors beer.
Okay.
It's a 12-inch a 12-inch GI Joe Coors beer that I bought at a toy show. Oh, here. I guess I could show it real close.
There you go. Yeah, there
he
is.
Yeah,
That's
he's got a
look at that
6 scale Coors beer that he's drinking.
That's
So
awesome.
it's more of like a tall boy for him.
Cool.
But yeah, digging him. Let's see. Black Series Luke. Oh, that's the exclusive one that came in the case with all the extra accessories. You can see my Earthwide. Oh, see, I've already done these because I talked about Cliff Jumper on the last show. I did a bunch of I did all the Tron figures I wanted. So I got the Walgreens Flynn, which is the normal Flynn. I found one of the Hot Wheels Thunder Tanks, the same as the Wind Raider that they're doing. I went and got the Target Sharkticons finally. What sold me on them is they actually transform. I didn't realize them. They look so small that they don't transform, but they do. So you got a little guy, and then here's the shark version of them. So
Can you put it back on? Can you put it back on your main screen so you can see it a little bit bigger?
I guess now that I showed off my spreadsheet, I'll get it out of here. Okay. So yeah, so you can see the little Sharkticon themselves.
Yep.
And then they transform.
I thought they were static figures too. I didn't realize they actually transform.
Yeah, that's what sold me on it. I was like, no, I can do without. And then I saw, and again, they're kind of like a bot transformation, so it's nothing fancy. Let's see here. And then in April, I got Target did a ridiculous sale. Oh, I've got it right here. I'll show it off. Target did a ridiculous sale on their Jurassic Park stuff. So I finally bit the bullet.
You got the big one.
Yeah, I haven't opened them yet, but I got this motherfudger.
Yeah.
$30.
Huge.
$30 instead of $50.
Wow. Yeah, I watched Dave's video on that one when he assembled his.
Yeah, and he got one from China that was missing a piece.
And the piece, the piece was he wanted to get it. Yeah, that's too bad.
But. Yeah. Let's see. Like I say, I got the Black Series Zori Bliss. I think that's kind of it. I got some new Black Major stuff. If people know what Black Major is. Oh shit. I totally forgot. We didn't record in time, but last week Target did their $10 off $50 or $25 off of $100, or is it? Yeah, it was off $25 off $100. So I took advantage of that. That was the Target run I did. I got me Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
I bought this for Jessica for Christmas, and I was like, "Fuck, I really want one myself." So,
I look at those figures every time I go to Walmart and Target. I always look at those figures, and I'm like, they look great. They really do.
I was impressed by hers, so that's why I was like, I want one for myself. Halo just did their again. I'm a mech suit guy, so Halo just released their mech suit line. So did that. I got the Ultimate Big Chap, which is the alien, the original alien. He comes with a face hugger, the little lizardy version of him, and an egg. So if you didn't know, because I had never put this to the test, when Target does those toy promotions, it counts on all that collector shit too. Because I got a Godzilla figure that counted, that NECA Big Chap figure counted. And then I got these, and they are going right the fuck back. But I thought they were interesting that Target actually is doing something like this. So Target is doing these value lock storage capsules. So this is a 7-inch. It's basically just a case for your figure.
Okay.
And they also make a 3 3/4 version or a 4-inch version of them.
So it's an acrylic. It's an acrylic cylinder.
I don't even know if it's acrylic. I think it's just fucking ABS. They're cheap as shit, except for they're expensive as shit. The 7-inch one was $10, and this is $6.
Yeah.
So again, yeah,
you can probably if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you should just use collectingwarehouse.com. They have all of that stuff.
Or just do fucking Michael's and do a 40% off coupon and buy, cases. Anyways, those will get returned. So sorry, I know that's loud and obnoxious. Oh, and then the other thing I got at Target on that good sale was Jeep Bumblebee.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've been wanting that one.
Yeah. So, wow, that's cool. I'll have to make sure I keep more of my toys around when we do what we got.
Yeah, we can actually see them.
Yeah. You know what they all had in common? None of them were open.
There we go.
Now, to my defense, I bought a couple of glass cases off of Next Door.
Whoa.
And I was able to make them so nice that Mrs. McFavorite has allowed me to put them in the living room on either side of a TV.
That's how it starts. I'm telling you, you're expanding into the rest of the house.
Well, and the problem is I would just put toys anywhere they could be out in our living room. So now that's part of the deal is I'm going to start limiting how many I just put randomly. Each of us, I get 4 shelves. Mrs. McFavorite gets 2 shelves, and Lil Miss McFavorite gets 2 shelves. So now we're displaying all of that stuff, but I built those shelves yesterday.
Are these like curio style, or are they like wide, or
so they're crazy? So the guy bought them they were $10 a piece.
Okay.
He bought them from a Bed Bath & Beyond when it was going out of business.
Oh, so this is commercial grade stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
But what it's cool is it's just a bunch of 14-inch by 14-inch plastic shelves that have these like clear plastic connectors. Okay. So you could really build them in any configuration you wanted. Huh. actually look like they were made for like t-shirts, because
Okay.
when I got them from him, they were angled.
Right.
Like all the shelves were angled, but he had enough extra pieces that I was able to build 4 or 8 total flat shelves from them. But they're all glass. They look really nice. I mean, that's the only reason why Miss McFavorite let me put them out there. And because little Miss McFavorite wants to display her Legos, and she does upcycling, is where you take cardboard, you take basically anything and you make shit. Like, she's a hot glue gun expert at 7 years old, you know. So she wanted to display all the stuff she's making.
Cool.
So that is what I got. All right, let's get back here. Let's get this out.
Real quick though, I just want to show you guys. You were talking about getting stuff into the living room. I've got this. It's a. I don't know where we got it from. It's a Russian submarine scale model. It's called the 949A Oscar II USSR. And my wife had it in the living room. What I've done is I've secretly put stickers on there.
Oh, look at that! It says Cobra. Nice.
Yeah, and it's on both sides. You know,
and she hasn't caught on to that yet.
No, not yet. No. So I can say yes. I have some of my collection in the living room. Awesome. You know. Also, you were right about the Mego. This is one of the. Yeah, this is the Mego. The arms are straight. They do not bend at all. No
elbows. Wow.
Yeah. I like the figures though. They're a little bit smaller than 3 1/4. But I will say he was wrong about Mego only ones that makes the classic figures.
There's no accessories with those either.
No, Playmates came out with.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't call those. They say classic, but I wouldn't call those classic.
Yeah, those are in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see on the back they've got several, and they got several from different movies. So
they made hundreds of those figures.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I've got several of them. As sick as that sounds, and I got them dirt cheap. It still says $3 on there.
Yeah, me and Joe Ryan were talking about those. He's a listener of the podcast. He collects them. There are literally hundreds of different figures in that line.
Yes, and I love every one of them. I told my wife the other day I need to get the bridge play set and the transporter. I don't know where the hell I'm
now the transporter is still expensive. Part of that.
Yeah, but I need to get that back because she bought that for me back. Me and my wife been together since 10th grade.
Oh wow!
We've 4 kids, grandkid already, and we've got for 1 year for Christmas. I believe this was before even out of high school. She got me the Star Trek transporter. I don't know what happened to it, but I want to get it back. So,
hell yeah! All right, well, let's get on to listener feedback and questions here. So first one, why do I have a link to this? Is this an MP3? What? Oh, this was just a question that was posed on Jedi Temple Archives that I thought would be a good topic for conversation. Along with this format change, once we get out of having 3 weeks of news and this being a 3-hour-long show, what we'd really like to go to is having a discussion topic where we spend a little bit more time. This kind of goes hand in hand with Alias Angel Alias's question. And with the big change that Lotus has made in his collecting as of recently. But AAA's question before was, besides toy collecting, what other collecting do you guys do? let's try to tie that in with an answer that talks about how your collecting has transformed over the years, or evolved over the years, I should say. Lotus, why don't you go first and answer kind of that two-pronged question there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think all of us, we've probably all collected for many years. I really started collecting real hardcore probably in, I think, like 2009. And yeah, I was the guy buying, one transformer to open and one to keep sealed, and I was constantly out there, very, very excited to build. I'm a completionist, so I always want to have complete lines of everything. Masterpiece was out there as well, and I was into getting Takara Masterpiece, and these are the, the original, like the MP1 and MP5, the original figures. And so, I mean, I went through that phase. At the same time, I was buying G1, actual boxed G1 sets, on eBay at the time. Yeah, I mean, I just done all this stuff, and Detolfs are the cabinets that I was using back in the day. And then I got from there, I never lost faith of Transformers, but I started looking into Hot Toys, and I just went crazy buying all kinds of Hot Toys. Started with the 1/6 sets, and then ended up moving to 1/4 scale. And there was a company called Enterbay that came out with the Joker. And see, I don't really have ties to any of this stuff. I don't really have favorites to Marvel or DC or any kind of specific characters. I don't read comics, but I'm just into I love, I just love, having certain movie displays, stuff like that just displayed. And so yeah, so I mean, I jumped in the 1/4 scale, and that's when I got involved with Play Imaginative, which was doing 1/4 scale Iron Man. And then I decided to take a journey into statue collecting, and got into that, and then started with just the basic sideshow stuff, the premium format that we're talking. I call that basic because it's just nothing at this point. I mean, I got into that stuff, and then found out that you could order stuff from, order custom statues from these people that are overseas, and you just blindly send money to people that you have no idea who they are, and hoping that in a year or so you get a statue on your doorstep. It's been a wild ride for me. I mean, I went from that, I got into 1/3 scale, like half scale statues, 1/3 scale, never did life size. Throughout this whole time, my main underlying thing that I never stopped searching for was the best way to display my characters, to display all the figures. I've switched through multiple different cabinets. Like Slick was saying, I've tried, stuff off of Craigslist. I've tried IKEA stuff. Cabinets have been such a big focus for me. Getting rid of the Detolfs, and once I made the decision to get rid of Detolfs, I was just constantly on the hunt for the best type of cabinet configuration that I could find that was, reasonably priced. So I mean, even if you go to IKEA and you start buying, some of the best units and stuff, you end up spending, the sticker price is, oh, this is $50, and then you got to buy the hardware and the doors, and by the time you walk out for for 2 cubes, you're talking like $100 for the 2 cubes. So I mean, all this stuff, displays are a big deal, and so that was, a constant evolution of my collecting. I've never actually shared a collection video. I have a lot of pictures from every time I transform my collecting room into, my displays are very modular, so they can move around, and I've adapted them many times to the room, and tried different just try to organize everything differently. But yeah, now, I mean, I'm just to the point where I have sold off a whole lot, and I have a very, very focused, I'm just going to say it's a very focused collection. I'm all into the world's smallest toy Transformers, and still on the hunt for at least a couple of those figures, especially the that blue Santa Commander Grimlock. I'm still missing that I can't seem to locate, but yeah, just really focused collection. But yeah, I've moved into. I think, like I said, we all collect because it's stuff from our childhood. It brings back nostalgic memories. If they're good memories, you want to hang on to them. And this newest venture, which is probably my last venture in collecting, is this whole Showbiz Pizza Rockafire Explosion animatronic characters. So now I'm into life-size robots that can actually perform songs. I mean, it's just crazy to think about. It's just crazy to think about my journey. And like I said, I've never lost faith in Transformers. I never will. I mean, I'm always going to take pictures of the toys in the store. I'm not buying stuff in the store anymore, but I love seeing what's new. My heart still beats as soon as I see when I saw the G1 Astro Train on the shelf, that my heart started beating. I'm like, oh, it's something new. It's so cool. I lifted it up. It's got really nice weight to it. The box looks awesome, nice and crispy, but I'm just not buying that stuff anymore. I'm just kind of sitting back and just letting my emotions subside a little bit. And then just, just not, I'm just not focusing my money in that anymore at this point. So it's been a wild journey. And like I said, I have a very focused collection, and maybe one of these days I will actually show what I consider my final collection to be. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have had one of the most purposeful, journeys that I've seen in collecting, and a lot of people have kind of followed in your footsteps in that same kind of, action figures to hot toys to statues kind of thing. But
I see
yeah,
it. I mean,
the Rockafire explosion.
Yeah.
And like I say, I hadn't even seen your video the last time we recorded, and I regretted that. And then when I finally looked at it, you had like 8 videos out, and I marathoned all of them, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a whole nother level,
Yeah.
So what about you, Rock? Are you available? You want me to go?
Yeah, no, I'm available. I mean, I've just gotten to the point where if I can't display it, I'm going to put it up on eBay. And as you guys can see, I added that big toy shelf in my room, and yeah, whatever's left is basically going on eBay. The only thing I didn't sell is my 25th GI Joes. Those are in like 3 or 4 totes in my garage. But otherwise, if I can't put it up on the wall in here, it's gone.
Nice.
I have to just condense it. It's just
very
as a
responsible
collector,
of you.
Yeah, well, as a collector, you wanted to buy, but I'm at the point where it's like my room is at where I want to be. I mean, the only thing is I bought some more Transformers that are coming to fill up my shelf, but I have a certain amount of space. This is my area, and like I said, I'm pretty content in what I have. But like I said, if I'm not displaying it, that means if I'm not displaying it, I'm not displaying it for a reason. It doesn't mean enough to me to keep it. So It's gone. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you did the blockbuster movies and that kind of stuff, but anything else outside of toys and that stuff?
I do collect vintage comics from like the 80s, and I collect the non-sport cards. The Topps non-sports. That's the only other stuff.
Oh yeah, all those wax packs boxes.
Yeah, I collect those, but pretty much I'm just trying to stick with the vintage toys, and like I've been getting rid of a lot of modern. I got rid of all my Retaliation GI Joes, the Rise of Cobra GI Joes, and they've been selling very well on eBay. Collect the wrestling stuff. Sometimes movie props, like I got the Ghostbusters stuff in recently, but yeah, I'm just confining it all to this space and trying to limit what I'm buying.
Oh yeah. What about you, Jay? How have you kind of evolved? And outside of plastic, what else do you buy?
Well, everybody touched on this. It's like everything you collect is for a reason. I mean, and for me, it started again back in 2008 when my daughter got diagnosed with cancer, and I needed something to cope with. So I started collecting things. I was like, man, it brought me to a happy place from my childhood to take my mind off of all that, And fast forward several years, she's married, has a baby, everything's fine, it's all good, and it's still part of me. It's like as you get older, you find yourself wanting to hold on to that childhood memory, that Christmas at your grandparents, opening up this or that, it's a happy place that we all go to. So it's transitioned, and it wanes a little bit. I always tell people my hobby is collecting hobbies. I'll go from video games to toys to even prepping. It's just one of those things where it's
some doomsday prepping. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Doomsday preppers.
Love that show. But not quite to that extent, because I don't have a bunker because I can't afford one. But it's the how do I word this? I always get stuck on things like this. It's the moment. You're caught in that moment. You can watch a movie, you can see something, you're like, holy hell, I remember those. Next thing you know, you're looking them up on eBay, you're online, whatever. And it's transitioned, and I don't know if it'll let me share a screen. Let me give you 1 second here. I've got
Lotus, do you know, can he share a screen, or is it just me?
Yeah, no, you won't be able to share.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll set up for a better time to show the collection things,
You can try it, because I know they did add some new features in there. If you want to try to click the button and see if it'll allow it to work.
It'll let me. Let me try. Let's try that. There's my screen. I think it showed up so that you can do it, Slick, but it's off to the side.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me add your screen to the share, and then let me do a solo. There we go. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, basically, I mean, this is the one display case I kept from when I had a comic book store, and it was just a really nice display case, so I decided not to sell it. And we moved it in, and I was like, I'm gonna start putting my stuff in there. And most of the G.I. Joe stuff is gone. I keep some of the Renegades figures at the bottom. You can see. I just like the Renegades. There's a picture of
nice
cabinet.
Right there. Is that like a 6-foot wide cabinet, or?
Yeah, it's enormous. So you look at the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that Jeep that I showed you, the MASH Jeep. Yeah. You can kind of get a scale of everything, 3/4,
8 wide or something.
Basically, that's where I put, and with all collections, we all move our crap around, so it moves constantly. There's stuff in there that'll move, and just, I would say, don't get discouraged with anything that's going on in your life. You're like, why am I collecting this? Why am I doing this? It's just remember why you started in the first place, and that happy place that it takes you to. Yeah. I think that's the part that that people lose focus of.
I think I agree with you 100%. I think deep down inside, we're just all collectors, at our core. So it doesn't really matter what we're collecting, or we're always going to be collectors. It's part of our genes, it's part of our blood,
Exactly. I agree 100%. I mean, look at my wife collects, dead things and bugs and spiders and stuff that I have no interest in, but it's what she collects, and it's for me, it was like a coping mechanism. And I think as long as you don't forego things like food or, stuff like that, you just do what makes you happy. That's kind of what I'm doing. So,
hell yeah. And then just because you talked about it right, the number one not toy thing that you collect.
That's kind of a tough one.
Because you're a collector of hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, I would say comic books up to a few years ago when I had 30,000 that I got rid of.
Wow,
but the one thing that I never got rid of was my original black and white Ninja Turtle comics. I still got those. So nice. I'm like 11 or 12 issues from completing the entire set. So
those are worth big bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many did they have in that run?
If I could zoom in on that, if you can look in the cabinet, there's the last issues in there. I want to say 66.
Okay, nice, very nice.
I'm a few issues. I'll never own a first print number one. It's not going to happen. So maybe we'll see. But yeah, that's my. I've always had those, so I'll never get rid of them.
That's dope. AAA answered his own question here. He says, second most collected besides toys is video games. He has over 900 plus video games, including NES, SNES, Super Famicom, Sega Genesis, Saturn, PSP, PS1, and PS2.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I collected game systems. So I actually collected boxed game systems probably back in like 2004. So that was another little thing that I, just randomly I was just like, I'd like to have a boxed Nintendo, and then I found a box Nintendo with the gray zapper, and then I found it with the orange zapper, and then I bought a special Rob the Robot Deluxe system that was a Chicago test market system. Those are like my oldest. Those are like my oldest YouTube videos.
Huh? I don't think I've ever gone that far back.
Yeah. I've got some oldies on there.
Up once I mentioned
Still had gloves though. I was still using
gloves. My collecting has evolved quite a bit. So, I mean, in college, I went to this tiny little small town where the only store we had was a Walmart, that kind of town, And so I would buy a figure here and there, buy a Transformer, buy a Star Wars figure just for the fuck of it, just because there wasn't really anything else besides that and drug and booze, and I would do those too. But and so I think the big thing is my mom passed away in 2005, and I got a little inheritance from her, and that's where I started like, oh, okay, there's like collectible toys out there. Then 2006, I got what do you call those? Fucking the Apple iPod. I got a fucking iPod, and that's what turned me on to the collecting community. And that's where I found out about store exclusives. I found out about cons, all that kind of thing. And that just rocketed me into another level, because that thrill you would get from getting a Comic-Con, even back then when they weren't in a huge demand like they are nowadays, but getting a Comic-Con exclusive online, and you were, sold out in 10 minutes, and you were able to get it. Like, that just gave me that, that serotonin, that little fucking hit to my psyche that I loved. Because my mom raised me to be a shopper. And so anything I get a good deal on gives me a little hit, gives me a little high. And so you combine that with toy collecting, like, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, getting a good deal on something, getting an exclusive that's hard to get, all that kind of stuff gives me that little high. So I went ridiculous. I mean, like I say, Lotus, Rock, you, Jay, even Peter, like I have a lot of admiration for you guys, because I've had the ability in my life to just get crazy with it. And I have a shed full of toys. I have a garage full of toys, all boxed up, 95% of them never opened. I have a room full of toys. I have a back room full of toys, like it is absolutely. Well, and that's the whole thing. I'm like, we just redid our wills recently, and I was like, Jesus, like, there is a certain amount that you could fly someone out here from like Brian's Toys or TF Source and just have them give my wife pennies on the dollar. But what could I do to give back to the community? They're not going to want any of these loose figures that I have thousands of, and that's what I've been trying to figure out is, like, if I were to die tomorrow, how could I give back to the community and just have Miss McFavorite just post on the group, like, send me your address and I'll send you a fucking box full of toys. You don't know what you get. It probably won't have accessory, that kind of shit. But so what I've had to do is really focus on subgroups and focus on characters and stop just buying everything. Like Star Wars, until 10 years ago, I bought every single Jedi that ever came out. Every single version of Luke, every single version of Darth Vader, anybody that had a lightsaber, I bought them. And now that's not realistic with all the fucking craziness. Combiners, I used to buy every single combiner, anything, and then third party came along, and I can't afford to buy every $600 combiner that comes out unless I wanted to stop everything else. So my evolution in my collecting is really how to find a balance when I've never really had balance to begin with, but something to where I don't go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. I only go thousands of dollars in debt, and that's where I'm at. I'm kind of in a bad place that I've always had debt. I'm not going to go out of this world having $100,000 in debt or anything. I'm not going to leave my child or my wife with that. But we always maintain multiple thousands of dollars on a credit card. And if I didn't buy the toys I did, we probably wouldn't be in that. Or if I just sat here and sold half of what you see behind me, we wouldn't be in debt anymore, So my evolution has really been, how can I keep this going without my wife divorcing me and without affecting my retirement and, that kind of stuff. I may have a few $1,000s in debt, but I have more retirement than most of my friends. I've been very lucky to be in a career where I make enough money to be able to splurge on this. Now, have we taken world, international vacations like we talked about? No. And that's because of my toy collecting. Have we bought a new house like we planned on doing 5 years ago? No. And that's because of my my unemployment and my toy collecting. So it's really evolved to try to specialize and that kind of stuff, but I still get sucked in by sales and exclusives. Fuck, I have 2 of those Jedi fucking Revan figures. I like Revan. I've never played the game that's from, but I have 2 of them for some reason, like just because it was an exclusive. Outside of this, what do I collect? Comics that I've talked about that I've never read. I have those drawers, you know, those big drawers you can buy for comics. I have 6 of those of comics I've never read. I've never read them, you know, but for the last 10 years, I have every single Transformers, G.I. Joe, Masters, or Star Wars comic they put out.
And you're forgetting, what about all your digital comics?
Yeah, so then I buy the digital versions of them too on Humble Bundle. so
try opening a comic book store. Yeah,
yeah.
Say about stuff, not reading stuff.
Exactly. And so beyond that, I would say the only other thing I really collect would be movies. You know, I'm a big digital, or not a big I'm a big physical media guy. But again, I tailor that with, I don't buy Blu-rays if they're over $5, unless it's Star Wars or, you know, something like that. Even Transformer live action movies, I've never bought them unless they've been $5 Blu-rays or less. You know, Rock and I were talking about some of the vintage cartoons and shit. You know, I buy those box sets, but not if they're not on sale. So I think that's how I rationalize my purchasing, is everything I've ever bought averages out to be at least 15 to 20% off. So isn't that okay? Kind of thing. So, all right.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you buy 3 Fort Maxes, because it's cheaper by 3. So you can divide the cost amongst 3, and it works out to be a better price.
I am the worst at, I will just start tacking things on to get the free shipping. So instead of buying the one figure with $5 shipping, I'll buy $100 worth of stuff just to save that fucking stupid $5. I mean, it gets ridiculous. So I am the worst example of how collecting evolves, and no one ever follow what I
mean, you just
do.
proved it. You had some kind of bobblehead that you bought just to get you over, just to use the coupon, and you bought some goofy bobblehead.
Exactly.
You know what though? Live life, because it's too short.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm like, so since he's on, Peter's already volunteered to fly out here when I die and help Mrs. McFavorite sell all of this bullshit. Vern too. Vern was like, I'll come out there, you know, like she'll have enough life insurance to pay somebody $10,000 to come out here so she doesn't get nickeled and dimed and swindled out of, you know, what's probably close to like an $80,000 collection at this point. You know, it's, you know, again, MSRP, maybe not secondary value, but all right, we're 3 minutes or 3 hours and 20 minutes. We got a couple, we got grab bag.
Before we do grab bag, I mean, so Peter, are you happy with the answer to your question? Did you think that's where this was gonna go? So it's funny that we went so far with that.
So we'll hear from him in about 15 seconds here. So I'm going to share my screen for grab bag, but he says I need hypnosis to stop collecting, and I agree. You also got to remember, I've been unemployed in the last 3 years. I've been unemployed for 2 years of the last 3 years, so that's even more disgusting in my opinion.
I went like a total of, I don't know, 4 weeks, and I was losing my mind.
I mean, luckily, I keep doing these small, like, I'm like the guy that can rake your leaves or stuff like that. I can update your website real quick or do you a quick logo that keeps bringing money in. But we lost Rock. I'll watch for when he comes back on. All right, next up, Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, or right? It's called The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I haven't watched mine yet, but if you're curious and you haven't bought into the whole Star Wars Rise of Skywalker DVD Blu-ray thing, on Slick Deals, this website I use to get all my great deals, it just has this ridiculous long listing of who had what, when, the special features, what you're getting, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of past the point now because those sales are over, but hey. 2020 Hallmark G1 ornament announced, and it is jazz.
Huh?
Did you get your sound back?
Yeah.
These are
I had to leave it and come back in.
yeah, you got your sound back, Rock. We
Oh,
got
sorry.
The price
No,
of
you're
them
good.
a lot better than $109.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've been doing great jobs with these Hallmark ornaments. You know, I was definitely gonna collect them at one point, and I was actually at the Hallmark during one of my little walks this past year. I was actually at the Hallmark when they had the 75% off, and they had Bumblebee there, and I was tempted, but you know, with my OCD, my problem of wanting to collect the whole line, that's just gonna force me. If I buy one, I'm gonna have to buy them all. And that stupid original Optimus Prime sells for like $80-$90.
Oh, I was gonna say most of them seemed reasonable, but I
The original one where
got
he,
that Prime originally, so I haven't never looked at him.
yeah,
And see, oh, that sucks. And I'll tell you, I've collected every single one. The Prime was in his original toy, like artwork pose.
that's the expensive one.
Yeah. And now they've all gone to like this more statuesque.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm kind of pissed off about that. I would have much rather, had that Megatron with his big cannon sticking out to the side, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, because I was lucky enough, because of Mrs. McFavorite, she's the one that bought me that original Optimus Prime. I'm all in on it. Masters of the Universe Revelations Havoc Stack. You can tell we're at the end of the show here and I'm thoroughly buzzed. Havoc Staff. So this is the Kevin Smith adult oriented Netflix cartoon, not the kid oriented Netflix cartoon that's coming out. So we just get a sketch here of the Havoc Staff, very true to the original. I don't know, bullhorns don't have that fine of a point on them, but hey, whatever. It's a cartoon, or I should say goat horns. And then G.I. Joe trailer was coming, but we didn't get it because of CinemaCon being canceled. That should have taken place on April 2nd. So I don't know what's keeping them from releasing the trailer, because we know it would have been available. But a bigger tell here is, while tons of movies have gotten rescheduled, Snake Eyes is still set for its original October 23rd release. We've seen a lot of movies get scheduled out of holiday season and then now summer season into more popular winter holiday seasons and that kind of stuff. So it sounds like that might be kind of bad that Snake Eyes isn't getting rescheduled, or that it's in this like crappy slot to begin with of October 23rd, which is going to be Halloween weekend. But who wants to go see a G.I. Joe movie on Halloween weekend?
Let me just jump in there and say, I hope to God that this movie does not suck.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the other two movies were what they were. I'm not going to get into that. But, I mean, from everything, look, I'm a big G.I. Joe nut. I was a Larry Hama nut for a while until I actually talked to him. But I mean, my favorite storyline so far is the Snake Eyes Declassified. I don't know if you've read it. It's fantastic.
We know I haven't.
Oh, you've seen the covers.
Yep. All the covers. They were already bagged and boarded. So I just taped
You
them
need
up
to
and
read
put
it.
them in the long box.
It's fantastic, and
Is it?
I really hope it files the declassified. That's all I gotta say. I just hope it doesn't suck ass.
All the news I've heard of this is even, kung fu movies are kind of like pizza. Even bad ones are pretty damn good, so long if it is truly a kung fu movie, with a good story or with a G.I. Joe story to it, I'm all about it. But yeah, if they start massacring backstories and making shit up and, that's what I'm worried about.
We didn't really have an origin story. I mean, we had issue 26 and 27 of the Marvel run, which was very basic. Declassified really dove into, backstory. I don't know if you want to take it as canon.
Yeah.
The paraphrase a Star Wars, term, but as far as story wise, it was fantastic. I mean, it was beautifully written. Everything that was in the Marvel run fit into the Declassified. So they even did Declassified 3 issues. I can't remember. I think it was just called G.I. Joe Declassified, where they went back to the original #1 issue.
Oh, nice.
If you remember the very first scene where after they messed with Dr. Burkhart, they had they were looking at the screen where there was, these are the Joes that we're going to put in, you had Snake Eyes, Stalker, blah, blah, blah. And then you had Shooter, and they didn't have a picture.
The 14th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shooter. And a lot of people thought that was Jim Shooter. But they actually dove into that. It was actually a female sniper, who lost her life when the castle blew up. So, I mean, it was pretty good. So I just hope that they can take that and put that into medium where we can say, hey, that's cool. Not so. Yeah. I don't want cheese dick.
What about you, Lotus? So I know you didn't get a lot of like supernatural stuff, but you would have been in that perfect age for Saturday morning kung fu movies and stuff like that. Were you able to watch those as a kid?
Yeah, I guess. So we didn't have cable, so I think I missed out on a lot of stuff because I didn't have cable TV. We just had whatever came over the air. So I don't know if I remember. I don't really have a whole lot of connection to kung fu movies. I don't think that would have been off the list of watching.
Yeah.
I just don't really remember that. The only thing that I have deep connection with is just, cartoons. That's it.
And what about you, Rock? Big kung fu guy?
Well, I remember like when I was a kid, there was the 3 channels that weren't not ABC, not Fox, not NBC or CBS. There was 5, 9, and 11.
Those UHF figure channels or whatever.
Well, they were just like the lower channels. Like now it's like the WPN or UPN or whatever they were. But one channel would have, if it wasn't baseball season, like one would have the Mets, one would have the Yankees. But if it wasn't baseball season, one channel would have like Godzilla movies. One would have the Kung Fu movies or Abbott and Costello or Three Stooges marathons. Always like black and white stuff. I used to watch those horrible, the overdubbed karate movies because we didn't have cable either. So, yeah, I have fond memories of watching that stuff. It definitely does not hold up because I tried watching some of those Shaolin movies on Vudu, and like 3 minutes into it, you stop watching it. It's like it gets real old real fast. But I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original comic run, so I'm like a purist. I'm like one of the old G.I. Joe fans. I'm curious to see what they do with this. I mean, the original one is, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Stalker were all in the helicopter that went down. He went back to go save Tommy Rashikagi, and that's why his face got burnt up. So I'm looking forward to it. Either way, some G.I. Joe is better than no G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I dug the last movies for what they were, but I'm hoping this Kickstart, same thing with like Bumblebee. Let's hope Bumblebee kicks off more of a G1 story, more G1 models. Let's hope this kicks off a really good start to a G.I. Joe franchise we can be proud of. So, all right, well, shit, 3.5 hours later, 3.5 hours later. Want to thank Alias Angel Alias, Engineer Nerd, and 46 and 2 for joining us on the YouTube live stream. Really appreciate it, especially for chiming in so much. That was really fun. Thank you, Lotus, for pointing out how easy this could be, because this is definitely what we're going to be doing from now on. Jay, for joining us, and hopefully joining us in the future as well.
Definitely.
Might even be looking at maybe a weekly podcast, which maybe, Jay, you won't be able to join every week, but at least every other week. And I guess we will see you sooner rather than later.
Or later rather than sooner.
Peace.
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 I'm going to end broadcast, and hopefully it doesn't hang up on you guys.